Yepper. See how heroin addicts play a twitchy action combat system. Okay, controller is good. We are good. Here we are again. Why am I getting notifications from Gmail again? I thought I turned those off. I'll have to fix that after. Oh well. In any case, I am here, battle scars and all. I wonder if I should wait to explain it when the stream starts. I don't know if I'll have time, so I'm going to explain it now. I had to get blood work done today. 2 separate nurses. Not at a hospital, mind you. Probably was the problem. I went to one of those non-hospital blood work places. 2 separate nurses had to stick me 4 times in both of my arms. Well, 4 times total in both of my arms in order to get 2 vials of blood. I have to sit here like a goddamn velociraptor all day with my hands all not articulating whatsoever. My elbows can't lock, or I'm afraid I'm going to squirt blood out into the air. Anyway, but I should be okay. I should be fine. I just said it while I was off the thing. I feel like this is what a heroin addict looks like. Like, it just, I'm bruised in both arms. It sucks. Either way, and I also dropped something yesterday and tensed up when I dropped it, like hyper tensed up. So I gave myself a small kink in my neck. So I'm just a ball of like hurting today. It is not much fun, but it doesn't matter because I am here and we'll chill out and play this game. So there you go. Marie and Lifeblood are here. Hello, Marie, and hello, Lifeblood. How you guys doing? Welcome back. You were not expecting this one. Well, it was a tale to tell. A bit of a long tale to tell, if you ask me. It's 2 games, and each of them are 60 hours long. So, feeling weak because that sounds like hell. No, not really. To be honest, once I got, like, it was tough because it was fasting. Well, it didn't say fasting, but I fasted anyway just to be safe. And, so I didn't have any breakfast or anything like that. I think I drank a little water beforehand. But, it was rough driving home from it. I didn't bring a snack like I probably should have. We won't make that mistake again. Next time I'm bringing a snack when I go get blood work done. But, yeah, I don't feel weak or anything. I feel pretty good now. It just, I had to get food and water into my system, and then I felt pretty good. So, just, you know, replenish all the hemoglobins. I think that's right. I better get to know it at some point. I'm going to have to take an anatomy and physiology class in the next couple of years, so. Tales of Xillia, what, are you digging up from the pit of games nobody knows? Well, I know this one. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I feel like this one was pretty popular. It just sort of fell off in terms of popularity after a couple of years because, from what I remember, it was popular at the time. It's just been forgotten because, well, it was popular at the time and then people stopped remembering it in favor of a newer game. And I don't know how I feel about that because I haven't been able to play a Tales game since the second installment of this duology without wanting to gouge my eyes out. that's okay, that's hyperbolic. It's not that bad, but I just can't play any other Tales games. Like, the second game in this duology is just everything I ever looked for in this series, and I haven't been able to play anything else before or since, so, you know. Because that's how Tales games work. Like, does anyone remember Arise? I don't even know what the hell Arise is, so that should tell you how much... Like, was that one of the old ones that was Japan only, or... I don't even know. Like, some of them, like, are Japan only, and those are usually the ones that are really obscure, but... Yeah, like, I know Abyss, I know Symphonia, I know Fantasia. I know Vesperia. And I can't for the life of me remember any of the other ones right now outside of those in Xillia, so... you know. Oh, Arise is new-ish? Okay, yeah, it must have just completely glossed over it for me. Like, I've pretty much given up on the series, which should tell you something about how I feel about this duology. Either that I really like it or I really don't, but there's only one way to find out, so let me take a drink and then I'll do my usual preamble. Excuse me. So, usual preamble. Same, but Arise came out 2 years ago? Wow. I really have been under a rock when it comes to this series. That's okay. My rock has the better games in it, so I'll take this rock over whatever's going on in the series right now. That's throwing shade that probably is unwarranted, because I haven't played any of the series after these 2 games, but... Well, this is another PS3 duology, and I figure since I'm doing the other one already, let's do this one too. How you doing, everybody? My name is Monochromium, and this is Tales of... that word. I'm going to say Xillia. I've heard multiple different pronunciations. I have no idea which is correct. I've heard Xillia, I've heard Xillia, I've heard Xillia, I've heard Xillia. No, actually, that was a different game completely with a completely different protagonist, so that's not correct. And I don't think they had the Tales part at the beginning. In any case, I've heard it pronounced a whole bunch of different ways. I think, if I remember correctly, the Japanese version pronounces it Xillia. But that's not how X's work at the beginning of words in English, so I'm going to pronounce it like an English speaker would pronounce it, which would be Xillia. Because in the English language, if you stick an X at the beginning of a word, it's pronounced like a Z. So that's what I'm going to say. If you don't like it, go pound salt. Anyway, yeah, so like I said, this is another first game in a duology where I like the second one better on the PS3. I feel like I could make an if I had a nickel for every time this happens joke, but it is, in fact, weird that it happens twice. And, yeah, so we're gonna get started with it. It's kind of similar to Infamous in that it doesn't have a title screen when you first start it, but it's not like Infamous in the same way because that's not something that happens perpetually. It only happens the first time you boot the game up, and after that, you get a proper title screen with a proper intro and everything, but only if you get to a certain point in gameplay. If you stop playing the game before that certain point in gameplay, you still don't get a title screen. It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in a video game, and I may demonstrate it just to show it off. It's really bizarre, but we'll see. Same, you stopped hearing about it after a couple of months. Okay, there you go. Xillia, you'll never say Xillia. That sounds like it belongs in Fire Emblem, to be honest. Go pound salt. Your recommended video about a person trying to make a fork out of salt. I feel like if you, condensed it together enough, salt might hold its shape, but you might need, a binding agent of some kind in order to do that. I don't know enough chemistry to do that. That's something else I'll be worrying about later. Anyway, for now, let's worry about this. I'm also not going to worry about that. I don't know if that was audible, but that police siren started up almost exactly when I turned the game on. I wonder what I did to break the law this time. Oh, is that Himalayan salt that people turn into lamps for some reason? I forget what the reason is for that, but there's a very specific reason why Himalayan rock salt can be used for lamp making. Maybe it filters light a certain way. I'd have to do more chemistry to be able to tell you. I don't know. I don't know enough chemistry to know that for sure yet. Keyword is yet. Yeah, so this is what you get when you first boot up the game. Again, this is not the thing that I was talking about. We'll get to that, but this is something like the thing that I was talking about. So let's do our options before we start the game up. I think I'm going to turn Auto Text Advance off just because I may, go out on a tangent in the middle of their conversations, and it'll be worth it to, not advance the text if that happens. Got to turn this up a little bit. Autocorrect? Oh, God, no, turn that off. I don't know who invented this, but God, is it jarring for camera angles. Just for the camera to suddenly bounce in a different direction because you hit a wall. It's okay, is this the anti-motion sickness thing? Holy hell. Someone's going to get nauseous when that happens. Don't know, it was just funny watching him make a fucking fork out of condensed salt. The goal was to pierce and lift steak. There you go. Let's hope that steak wasn't super salty from the fork, just coagulating with it. Battle difficulty, so I'm going to play on moderate. I don't like hard because it does that thing that a lot of games do where it just makes the regular enemies too chunky. And the regular enemies are mostly cannon fodder in this game as well, and I just don't like them having a billion million HP. But the bosses on hard are pretty good. Like, if I was on normal mode and I was fighting the bosses, I'd be like, no, this is too easy. So I kind of like moderate. It's like a nice halfway house between normal and hard, and I won't have to worry about the thing that I had to worry about in Persona 5 Strikers, where I have to keep turning the difficulty up or down depending on whether I'm fighting trash or a boss. So yeah, we'll go with moderate. It's just a nice middle ground. So that's fine. That's fine, because that's never going to happen. Turn that shit off. Attack input time. I might go with long, honestly, because sometimes I do like fighting game inputs where I'll input it while an attack is going on. So I think long might be for the best. Button config screen, I should probably do something about that. Normal attack on X. What do you think this is? No, it's on square. Put this on R1. This is going to look all kinds of messed up for anybody who's played this game before, but I don't really care. It's fine. Free run on L2 is probably fine as well. I don't remember what L1 and R2 do, but I'm sure they'll figure that out eventually once the game gets going. Turn this up, leave that where it is, turn this up, and I think we're good. Okay, well, it's been 10 minutes. Let's finally get started, shall we? You are not me. You are smart and avoiding making your life hell for nothing significant. I mean, it would only be a minor gain, you know what I mean? 80% of the game we'd be fighting trash mobs anyway, and I don't want that to be hell on earth. I'd be bored, you know? Ooh, Lord, early 2010 motion blur. Oh my god, that is atrocious. Holy hell, man. Did anyone watch that? Like, I can't believe I watched that in early 2010s and said, yeah, that looks awesome. Like, what? It might just be because the TV's bigger now, though. So, like, you didn't notice it as much before because the texture wasn't as in your face, you know? Speaking of in your face, thanks, game. I don't need this camera angle. It's good that she is not coming out of her meditations, though. It means she is very in the zone. Never mind, she's out of the zone. Is it because she got bit by the snake, or is the snake waiting very patiently for his turn? Is this a turn-based RPG? In a cutscene? Because that'd be some dedication that I haven't seen in a while.
Are dying. You
just noticed this now? How did you figure that out and not know it before this? I was going to say, buddy, I don't think that's a good idea. Boop the snoot! And, you know, eradicate him from existence in the process.
I fear.
Thanks, big guy.
Spyrix is behind this.
Oh, they labeled the word Spyrix. I wonder what that's all about.
So how long has it been? 6 years? Time sure flies.
6 years since you did what exactly? I've been meditating in this monastery for 6 entire years. No food, no water, no sleep. Just meditation and giant demons to keep myself alive. Speaking of demons, there's 4 of them. What? Sir, the music is too loud and sweeping. I can't hear you. That the tagline on the brochure, or?
Have the power to bring man's wishes to fruition. And in turn, those wishes preserve and protect the spirit's livelihood.
Sounds very symbiotic.
It could be said that Maxwell, the Lord of the Spirits, is in fact the guardian of all things. this world, no known evil exists that could threaten this harmonious cycle. But if one did, perhaps it might lurk in the hearts of men.
Of course it would. Why wouldn't it? It's always the human problem. Even worse than that, where else could it lurk but in the hearts of, well, horny teenagers?
So sorry.
Speaking of horny teenagers, here we go.
Hey.
Here's, the one that we'll be playing as. Out of the whole bunch. Late for class, or late for work, or late for something. Overslept again. That figures. Did you tell me about that run of Abyss that you did? It was vanilla unknown mode, which Abyss is not scaled for. The Liger Queen, the first boss, took about an hour for you to get to the point when Jade ends the fight in 2 seconds with Blessed drops. That is absurd. I feel like that almost makes it a New Game Plus mode rather than a mode you pick on a fresh save, because, like, holy shit. Anyway, we get a character select at the beginning of this installment of the game. You get to pick between 2 people, the resident horny teenager that I just talked about, Jude, or the vaporizing spirit tuner, Mila, who just killed a snake for no real reason other than it was going to bite her and probably do absolutely nothing because she's incredibly powerful. I feel like the balance here is a little bit unfair because, like, you just watched her eviscerate a snake from existence. Like, who's not gonna want the power trip that entails, right? And then you've got this guy who just sort of stands off to the side and is like, hey, so I'm a typical teenager in these sorts of anime video games. So everything that you see on the tin of every other one, at the very least at the beginning, that's what I'm going to have. Now, the game's tagline, it really sells this whole, there are 2 playable characters with 2 very distinct stories. It's like all over the marketing and everything like that. And honestly, I feel like it's kind of almost predatory because it's not entirely a lie. They do have separate set pieces in some parts of the game, but 90% of the game is the same for both of them, with, like, there's maybe 1 exclusive dungeon for each character and a couple of exclusive bosses. So, yeah, I don't know about that whole... Basically, you can play as only one of them and move on to the second game and be totally fine. You're missing out on very few minimal amounts of details. As for which one to pick if it's the first time through the series, Jude is probably your best bet because he kind of gives you more of a, this is what a Tales game is all about feeling, whereas Mila's more of a, like, this is who she is as a character. That's what a lot of her exclusive content focuses on. Whereas Jude is more like, this is what the world is all about. It does more building, basically, in Jude's, whereas Mila's is more personal focused. I almost want to say Mila's is more of a New Game Plus mode, honestly, because she's... you miss out on a few plot details as her, and there might be certain situations where you're like, what the hell is going on here? So if that wasn't clear enough, since this is the very first Tales game we're playing for the channel, we're going to be playing as Jude. So we'll play as Jude.
Okay, let's go.
At least we'll be playing his story. I don't know how much I'll actually be playing as Jude, as the main character. You can switch between the party leader in this game pretty freely. So I'll probably be playing as him as the main character for a bit, but not all the time. I'm planning on switching probably a decent amount, actually. Kind of want to get, like, a good idea of what all the characters play like, especially since the second game has you...
Those
Well,
documents must be
not
for the
necessarily
registrar's
playing
office.
as all of them, but some of them. See what I mean about tangents? It is. You have to unlock Unknown Mode, but before you're supposed to use the grade shot before you start. You did not. You were like level 16. Everything but Tears spells did 1. Yeah, that's rough. Good lord. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks for helping out. You sure you have time for this? Don't you have residency training with Professor House?
Isn't he a teenager? How is he already qualified for residency training? Am I playing as a
Don't worry
savant?
about that. You're in a rush too, aren't you? Shoot, you're right. Thanks again. You better get moving too.
Alright, later, nameless NPC
Right.
guy.
Crap, I'm gonna be late.
I was gonna say, did you just figure that part out? Because didn't he just mention it? Did it go in one ear and out the other? Anyway, we have a Navi button. And when you press R1, she'll say, hey, listen! No, wait, that is also a different game. Actually, what it does is, well, not this. This gives you a little button layout that I don't really care about because I kind of already know how it all works. And they give you button prompts on the screen, so I don't know why they'd want to do that there. Anyway, you can press R1 and it'll tell you where to go. You can press square to bring up your map, a whole bunch of other stuff. I probably could go backwards here and grab a treasure or something, but Jude said he's going to be late, so let's get him to where he's going first so he's not late. Not even going to worry about talking to the NPCs. Let's go get him to work or school or residency training or whatever the hell. Excuse me, and then we'll worry about any treasure later.
Credit with the professor. Let's see, what building was he in again?
Good question. Shouldn't you know this off the top of your head? Probably that building that the camera angle has swung to. As if on cue. Alright, off I go. As the land loads around me. I gotta be careful. If I keep looking at it for too long, I'm gonna break reality, so let's get in here before that becomes a problem. I love the PS3. And its load times.
Professor
I feel like
House,
I'm coming
are
down
you
hard
ready?
on this. It might be because of the fact that I had a rough early morning start today, that's all. It's not, I'm not being mean for the sake of being mean. I'm just being silly, that's all.
Look who decided to show up.
Yeah, residency training, the fuck, he's a med student? I suppose we get to play as the healer. So
Yeah.
that's fun.
Sorry I'm late.
That goes out the window pretty quickly, though.
Worry not, lad. Now, keep this between us, but I've been asked to help down at the lab. Top secret research, they say.
Oh.
A request right from Orda Palace? Wow.
Is that so surprising? Isn't he, like, the head medical officer? Wouldn't he be asked that all the time if it's important research? Like, this is a town of medics, right? Like,
things until I get back.
it would have to be in order for it to make sense that he's... I mean, I guess it wouldn't be if he's, you know, only being asked this time once.
You can handle it, lad.
Usually when there's a town with a school in it like this, though. Like, this is a school that does a lot of medical stuff. Usually when that's the case, the town almost revolves around that, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the jobs that branch out from that end up being medical in nature. I suppose this is a fantasy world, though, so it doesn't have to be that way. Jude, don't you need to ask him for something?
Right. I need you to sign my class credit form.
You don't need me to babysit you to do this stuff the whole game, do you? Please tell me no. Please say psych.
Your graduation thesis is coming along, I presume?
More or less. I should have the first draft ready by Ignis.
What about by Prompto? Or
That's
Gladiolus?
cutting things close, don't you think?
Or
The end of
Noctis?
a race is no time to start slowing down.
Well, how do you expect me to finish the race if you keep
I'm
needing me to
planning
take
make
your
you my
job
top
over?
assistant after you graduate.
Thank
Well,
you,
that's nice.
Professor.
I'll be back in a few hours.
This kid's got it made. He's gonna have a
much
good
for
job
a
right
easy
out of
day.
school. Wish we all had that opportunity. Head to the examination room. JRPG issue. Stop using proper nouns and not fucking telling me what they mean. I think you can check, actually, in here. Like, if you go in the library, you can look at, like, okay, battle book, titles, enemy data, item data, records. Okay, maybe you can't. I thought there was, like, a list of terms or something in here somewhere. But apparently there's not, so I was wrong. Oh, well. It's a month. That's all you need to know. Outpatient wing. Off we go. Teenager becoming a doctor immediately. Because why the hell not? That is a fair question, but I don't have the answer at the moment because I'm too busy worrying about the dozen or so patients in this room that I have to see in a moment. Sorry, we'll be with you soon. I have to get my paperwork done before I start. Just, you know, get all the waivers ready in case I mess something up and then the school can't kick me out for messing something up. Wah, wah. Well, good to hear that Jude did this honestly and, you know, didn't just get pulled up for no reason. Alright, let's help some patients. Oh, they're just going to help them in a cutscene? I don't have to do anything gameplay-wise? Okay, fair enough. Oh, you meant Order Palace. Please tell me what the place is and why orders there are significant. Are they rare? Are they important? Fuck, just tell me. I guess it's a palace, so... I guess it's implied, but not that much.
That's kid stuff.
It is okay. I have the remedy, sir. This will cure your broken leg.
Okay, you're good to go.
How did you break your leg channeling spirit arts, anyway? Like, were you doing it on a tightrope or something?
There's been a real epidemic of channeling failures today.
I wonder why.
Any idea what went wrong, Mr. Eldon? Your brain's mantle lobe looks tip-top.
You can tell that just by, I guess, just by feeling it, you know?
I was able to draw out mana like usual, but then it was like the spirits ran off or something.
Are you sure it has nothing to do with your face, sir? Because your face looks like it's about 20% too small for your head. Like, Jesus Christ, look at that! Like, how does he... What did they do? Like, this isn't even Uncanny Valley. This is just like they mixed something up. Like, God had two faces in front of him, and he just switched them out. Just like, no, this will be a great prank. Like, what the fuck? Like, look at Jude's face. Okay, like, okay, it's anime proportions, but it's, you know, it's an anime game, so that makes sense. Then you go back to this guy, and it's like, oh my god. Like, it's so pronounced. He was the best doctor. Yeah, he really was. You're going to spend an hour teasing this game, aren't you? I mean, it won't let me have the title screen for an hour, so.
It's my wife's birthday, too.
I promise the teasing will slow down. Again, I think it's just the mood I'm in today, so. Like, look at that. How does he live? Like, you gotta, like, I don't know, just pull that out a little bit.
Good day, Dr. Jude.
Oh, okay, cool. We're all done. Fantastic.
You sure this is all above board, Nurse Prin? I mean, students aren't normally allowed to see patients by themselves.
Don't ask me. The professor is the one shirking his duties. He knows full well that urgent patients always show up.
So did I not see the... He said only the ones with appointments would show up. Was I seeing walk-ins
Serves you
too?
right for agreeing to stand in, if you ask me.
Listen.
I guess with the amount of mana at his disposal, treating 10 people isn't any more taxing than treating one.
Ah, well, I guess that's fair. I don't know why he'd expect all of us to be able to do that,
He spent so much time
though.
developing his mana lobe that it skewed his perspective.
Let's hope he wasn't compensating for something.
Beg your pardon. Have either of you seen Professor House?
Good question.
Come to think of it, he should have been back by now. Why? Did something happen?
We've just been told he's been chosen for the Hal Prize.
Oh, okay. Is that like the
Wow.
Nobel Peace
Research
Prize or
honors don't get any
something?
bigger than that.
Thanks for acknowledging that, Jude. Now I don't have to ask that question.
They want to see him immediately, but he didn't tell anyone where he was going.
Don't worry. He told me. I'll go fetch him.
Sorry for always sticking you with the odd jobs, Jude.
I mean, to be fair, I got stuck with the even jobs today as well, because I had to do the professor's work for him. I would say, is this what qualifies as plain clothes in a world like this? But to be fair, it's a fantasy world, so I suppose it would qualify as plain clothes. Professor House, Dr. House, was this done on purpose? Probably. Wait, they said there were no more patients. There's a guy out here with a broken arm and a cast. Like, who is he to all of you? Isn't he important? Anyway. Now we have more urgency because we have to go find the professor. I suppose it's not that much urgency, though, is it? Still, I'm going to pretend it's urgency. Certain games, I'm like, yeah, let's go talk to all the NPCs. And certain games, I'm like, they can't really add much that the story isn't already adding. And this is one of the latter cases for me. I usually don't spend a lot of time talking to NPCs in this game.
No point in leaving the city.
Might talk to some, but I can't guarantee I'll talk to every single one.
And the Sea Haven is out of the way.
Yeah, definitely not going out there.
My best bet is to cut across the central plaza and enter the research district. I should find the lab with Professor House there.
Thanks, Jude. I wouldn't have known. I mean, I would have followed the map marker, but, you know. Use the mini-map in the top left corner of the screen. to check your surroundings. Top left is such a weird place for a mini-map, too, now that I think about it. Usually isn't it top right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have to go towards the boy. Look at the boy. Now we have to go out this way, which leads out to the research district. And more boy! It's the same dog, but to be fair, most dogs of the same breed look very similar, so, you know. Follow the boys. That's the point.
The falling lumen petals sure are beautiful today. I'll never forget how stunned I was when I arrived at Fenmont and saw the lumen trees for the first time.
So they're like luminescent trees, I guess? I suppose that's what the lumen part is for, isn't it? So. Hey, Cephiko, how you doing? Welcome back. You showing up to a JRPG? That couldn't be. There's no way. Yeah, welcome back. Playing Tales of Xillia now, so there you go. His outfit's just a coat over his doctor's garb? Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I guess it's easier than, you know, unchanging all the way and undressing all the way and getting something completely different, so. Yeah, donkey, and looks like golden broccoli. Probably does, honestly. I'm gonna go check the shops. Actually, before I check the shops, let me see what my, 1,000 gold. I mean, that's like, I suppose I can't expect much. I'm living off of a student's budget after all, but it might buy me a couple of things. Let's see what it can buy me. We have iron gauntlets, but they're worth 630, and I already have them equipped. So I guess I'm not buying those. Armor. Got that. Don't have a leather helm. Suppose I could buy that. It gives me less art defense, though, and you have to consider both physical and art defense. Almost like, you know, regular physical defense and magical defense, so it's something to consider, I suppose. About here. There's a cape and boots. And I definitely don't have enough for boots. Apparently boots are really well made in this world because they cost 2,000 gold. And I won't need any of those either because we'll be fine. We'll get plenty of those. Buy a gel and get some snack on. We'll get gels. I'm not worried about gels. So. Okay, well, that seems like a good use of nature and technology meshed together, as long as you're not, like, hurting the nature in the process. Again, sounds very symbiotic. I can't imagine how this would ever go wrong. So this is a memory ring. Looks more like a save book than a ring, but fair enough. You can save here. You get a little bit of HP back here if you're low. You get up to 50% of your HP. It revives KO'd party members and cures status conditions. You can also quick save right from the menu, but that erases your save when you load it up, so. I think, if I remember correctly. It does. Anyway, maybe now we can take an opportunity to demonstrate that thing that I wanted to show about the title screen, because there is a save point before the title screen shows up, as you can see here. There are multiple, actually, now that I think about it. So if you save the game, and then you quit out of the game and you reload it, instead of getting a title screen, you get something else. So I will show you. When I said you had to earn your title screen, I was being very, very clear on that. No, you have to earn it. So let's wait for this to go back. Okay, there we go. Now we can load this back in. And I can show you. Because, I mean, I demonstrated it the first boot up, obviously, where it's like, okay, this is a fresh game file, so it just kicks you directly into the story. And then, if you boot up the game before you get the actual opening and title screen, you get the logos, you get the loading, but then... Yeah, kind of like Golden Sun, yeah, similar to that. So we actually just played Infamous for the stream, so like it's similar to that, but it only happens until you get about an hour into the game, and then you get your intro and your title screen, and you can actually boot the game up there. So Golden Sun was the last time that you had to earn your title screen. Yeah, there you go. See, I said it in the video that I made for this. Yeah, this is what you get. Instead of a title screen, this is all you get. Just the name of the game in a menu with the copyrights and the copyright year in it. New game continue. That's it. Like, this is just... I don't know. Like, this is going to be a fixture in my brain now. Like, it's just, like, so bizarre. Like... Usually they want you to have this big sweeping title screen that just pulls you into the game, and this is just like, this is like signing paperwork. Like, I didn't know this was going to be literal Doctor Simulator at the beginning. Yeah, that is a middle finger, but it's so fun. Like I said, it's just silly. Like, it's so blunt, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like a fixture now. They expected you to play the whole game in one sitting and not see that. Yeah, there you go. They probably did expect you to play the whole intro section in one sitting. They offered the save point out of convenience, obviously, but they probably did expect you to play through the first 45 minutes to an hour without needing to stop. But, you know, I just thought it was funny. That's why I bring it up. I feel like at this point the teasing is mostly going to stop, though. Like, the beginning parts of this game give big, I need to tease this energy, and now it's less so, I think.
But I'm here to pick up Professor House. He's from the Talon Medical School.
Is this How Prize news that urgent, Jude? Can't we tell him tomorrow when he comes into work? Don't we have homework to go do?
House. He already left.
Is that the sign-in sheet?
Really? You're going to give me the sign-in sheet and he's going to cross-check this. Like, this is a Phoenix Wright investigation. I know I just said the teasing was going to stop. I'm sorry, it's not stopping
Satisfied?
yet. No, the kanji was a little off on his signature, actually. I noted that.
Couldn't I just dart in really quick just to make sure?
Sorry. Rules are rules.
Yeah, I suppose I'm not allowed to break them just like
Right.
anybody else just because I'm almost a doctor. Jude, we'll tell him in the morning. I'm sure you have a graduation thesis to
Now
work
what?
on. Are you that desperate to shirk your graduation thesis that you're willing to break the law? Be cute if it was like an under construction or a not ready sign. Yeah, it seems awfully business or company-like with it that plain. Yeah, it'd be cool if it was like a, I don't know, if there was like a sign or something. I think there's a couple of like construction or work yards in this game. It'd be cool if it was like a sign from that just stapled onto the title screen, you know. That'd be kind of funny, but... Okay, so I guess that's it. Let's just go home. We'll go back, we'll let Jude go to bed and work on his thesis, and then he can see the professor in the morning. If the lights stay on long enough for me to do my homework, good lord, man. Power outage?
Something must be wrong with the spirits.
Power flickering, more like. Whoa! Well, that's going to be problematic. I love how he just looks at it like, oh, god damn it, now I'm going to have to get a new form. And then a woman walks on water in the city. Feels like that came completely out of nowhere. But then again, we literally watched her eviscerate a snake in the intro, so I suppose it's not that out of nowhere. Jude, you are really desperate to get out of this thesis. Like severely desperate. I suppose you're, you know, a scientist in a sense, but you're more of a doctor than I have to find out why this is happening no matter what, you know. Yes, being in college sucks. My class credit! Jesus, and she's hot? Oh no. Literally hot right now because she's using Ifrit, or is it pronounced Ifrit in this universe? I think it's Ifrit in this universe. To melt those iron bars. Maybe iron, not sure. How did the walkway just disappear? Do you, like, do that on purpose, or?
Hi.
Good evening. Oh, yeah, I suppose you are breaking the law, so the more noise I make,
Just
the
keep
worse
quiet.
it'll get for us.
And I won't need to hurt you.
Wait, why are you breaking into the lab?
Jude,
What are you...
did you not hear the lady? Oh, Jesus Christ, she's gonna drown him. Man,
Strange. What part of keep quiet didn't you understand?
she takes that shit seriously, apparently.
Ready to hold your tongue now?
Well, there goes my class credit. That was a piece of paper and it just got soaked, so that's fun.
Could you try coughing quietly?
How does one cough quietly? Exactly. Isn't that the whole point of coughing?
Can I talk?
This is the moment that he became Heisenberg. Did she just incinerate that wall? And holy fuck, yeah, she was gonna drown this poor kid.
See?
That's fun. I dropped something. It was probably your fault because
What are you
Sylph
up
was
to? The
overzealous.
guards will be here any second.
How will they
That's
get
why
here?
I need to
I guess
hurry.
they'll go around.
And you need to go home.
I'd love to, but I'd have to swim back, and that would have required them to have swimming mechanics in this game. And they don't have those, so I guess I'm going with you. Somewhat, anyway. And then when she joins our party, she's nowhere near as strong. Yeah, don't you love it when they Alucard people? I love it when they Alucard people in video games.
Where'd she go? She must have gone ahead.
Class credit no longer matters. There's a hot woman going into the sewers. I have to follow her.
About that signage sheet too.
Like, literally, there are certain points where I feel like you could show me this game with no context, and I'd be like, guys, be honest with me. Is this a hentai? Like, it just, I don't know. LaForte Research Center. Sewer level. Right at the beginning. Who would have thought? Wood chunk. 11 points for a wood chunk. I don't know what the... I literally don't remember what the point system does, though, if I'm honest with everybody. The majority of what I can remember about this game's mechanics are basically what I can reverse osmosis from Tales of Xillia 2, because I haven't played Tales of Xillia 1 since I played it the very first time through. So, like, battle mechanics and stuff I'll probably be okay, but, like, the RPG mechanics and the other stuff, I'll be completely in the dark. I can't remember it for the life of me, and I did not look it up, so I guess we'll find out. Somebody left the toilet clogged. It's overflowing. Yeah, great. DDS1 sewer levels still traumatize you. And you weren't even the one playing, and it still traumatized you. That's hilarious. DDS1 did have, like, 3 sewer levels, though, didn't it? Like, it was about 40% of the game. Oh, I don't know. I find it funny, but other people probably don't. Brand new game to you. Well, you saw a tiny bit when it released. Well, there you go. Nice. So we'll have a similar-ish experience. I'll just know what I'm doing in the battles.
Sorry for the intrusion.
Actually, I followed a hot lady in here. Does that make a difference?
You seem courteous enough.
Oh, good. Does that make me not get in trouble for breaking the law? Because I don't think my class credit will like me breaking the law.
I'm looking for Professor House. I think he's still here.
Oh, so you know the professor, do you?
Vaguely.
Yeah, he's
He's
still
just,
here.
you know, my teacher. Gonna give me a job when I get out of here. What, I can't get the bag of treasure before I go? That's
You really
unfortunate.
shouldn't be wandering around here, kid. I ought to get in touch with your parents.
That might be a good idea, yeah.
My family doesn't live around here. They're all back in my hometown.
So he'll send a carrier
I
pigeon?
see. Good to know.
Or he'll send you in a body bag.
What?
Fantastic.
Relax. Come quietly and you won't get hurt.
Why are
Uh-huh.
you doing this?
Because you're breaking the law, Jude. What kind of a question is
Does this
that?
mean you're holding the professor too?
Do you make those sorts of leaps in logic when you're
Come
treating
quietly,
patients? Okay, the guard wants to murder me now, so I guess we'll engage in wanton murder. A tutorial that explains the controls will be given during this battle. Sure, I'll just watch it just for the hell of
There's
it.
no choice.
No, there is a choice. We could just, I don't know, run out of the battlefield. I don't remember if you can escape from battles in this game. I think you can if you keep running up against the side, but I think since this is a tutorial fight, you're not allowed to. So, anyway, you can walk or run in a 2D plane, or you can use L2 and free run on a 3D plane. So that's cool. You can guard. You can reduce damage by guarding.
Not good.
Okay. You can also quick step forward and backward. Jude in specific has a mechanic that he has with quick stepping that I'll probably demonstrate by accident over the course of the game, so. Anyway, we can beat this guy up now. You'll notice also that there is a meter next to my HP and MP bar that has a number in it. In this case, it has a 0. It has a 4 to start with. That is the number of actions you can take before you're no longer allowed to take any actions. You can think of it kind of like a stamina bar, basically. Once you're done filling the, or not filling the bar out, but emptying the bar, you have to wait in order to take an action for about a second for it to recharge. So, and then you can start again. Usually it's long enough for the enemy to start winding up an attack. So there you go. Hey, Amarella, how you doing? Welcome back. We'll be playing Tales of Xillia in between Infamous 1 and 2. Didn't want to give it away when I played the finale, so there you go. No, fuck those levels. That was like 40 plus minutes apiece. Dr. House? No, that's another show. Yeah, there you go. We meant, I think Marie made that joke actually, so before. Jude does nothing quietly, and it nearly killed him both times. Oh no, he brought his doggy. Now I have to pet it. Thought this game would be more complicated, to be honest. Yeah, it's not as complicated as it might be on first viewing. Oh, okay, I can switch targets with circle. I might want to switch that to a different button, actually, now that I think about it. So anyway, that's how you switch targets. Press circle to target the nearest enemy. Yeah, I'm going to switch that in the controls. I'll probably make that L1, honestly.
I won't hold back.
And then you can press R1 to perform an art. Oh, I can't even do Jude's thing yet with that. Okay, cool. In this particular case, we have Demon Fist on our arts because you always start with some form of Demon Fang in a Tales game. Absolutely. Well, not always, but most of the time. It's like the iconic art. And it's actually really good in this game, too. Like, it's a very good scouting tool, so I'll probably try to use it, like, a lot. You can use regular attacks and just use your AC bar, or you can use arts, and that uses AC and a little bit of TP. But you get TP back every time you attack, so you can use it as much as, not as much as you want, but as much as your bar allows, so. Alright, let me get away from this guy. Do one of those, and then I almost just jumped back into that, but that's okay. Yeah, see, that gives you a vague idea of how much room you have. Oh, you know, I can probably... Can I set the options from here? No, I can't, and I can't escape from this fight, so... Ow. I'm not used to having only 4. I'll have to, you know, make sure I'm careful about that, so I don't do that. I have to try to use, yeah, see, like I said, on accident. I have to try to use Demon Fist as much as possible, because in this game, there's art usage, and when you use your arts in battle, eventually you learn to use them for something else more effectively. So, like, it increases their speed, or it increases their power, depending on how much you use them. So, in certain cases, I'm going to want to try to do that. So, oh good, and I picked up his shit. That's fun. I mean, the apple gel is nice, but why do I need the beast dung? This game does like a loot table thing rather than giving you... It gives you money too, but it gives you a loot table, so you'll be picking up junk items that you'll use for other things, so... Gives you tips at the ends of fights as well. So there you go. That'd say, always as your edge says hi. Yeah, I suppose that's not Demon Fist or Demon Fang. It's similar, but it doesn't travel on the ground, so, you know, that makes a difference. Before I do anything, let's go to the options and change the button config real quick so that I can swap that to... I think I'm going to swap it to L1, actually. So, there we go. And then we can leave that as whatever it is. I think that's what I want it to be. I think I remember what that button ends up doing later, and I think that's what I want it to be, so... also, I want to go into Jude's arts, because they give you Demon Fist, but they also stick Healer on here, which is his healing art, and I want that on a different button, so we're going to take that off of there. Oh, actually, I want this on manual as well, so let's take that off of there. I'm going to stick it down here, actually. Usually that's where I stick, like, Guardian or all those other ones in Symphonia, so I'll just stick that there, and should be able to remember that. Speaking of remembering things, let's go back and grab this bag. Beautiful feathers. Cool. Don't remember again what these junk items do, but I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. So. Alright. Yeah, that's the good shit. I think there's better versions of the dung, actually, if I'm honest, later. So. Thinks Hysteria and Berseria get more complicated. This one's still just a glorified Abyss or Symphonia. Yeah, it kind of... It, you know, travels on the coattails of those games while still... It iterates a little bit. It doesn't iterate a lot, but it iterates a little bit, so... Golden Dung? It might be like Dragon Quest, we'll see. Still have Berseria, only got 5 bosses or so in before you put the game down, and that was back in 17. Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about every Tales game since Xillia 2, but again, I just can't get into the gameplay of any of the games after Xillia 2. It just... I like Xillia 2's gameplay too much. By comparison, Xillia 1's gameplay is... We'll get to it. This guy didn't even see me. Good lord. More tutorials. Okay, that's fine.
Gotta stay focused.
So we can evade an enemy attack, like we did before. Actually demonstrated in the last battle. If you avoid with good timing, Jude's exclusive skill triggers called Snap Pivot. You can backstep behind an enemy, and it allows you to get higher critical hit chance, more action points because you are behind them, so you can get bonus points for being behind them. They're slightly defenseless for a little bit, so you can attack as much as you want. But that's the flow of Jude's combat, kind of, is get behind them and then use your arts, basically. Pretty much just like this. I don't know why I double demon fisted there, but you know. You really don't need to get behind them, though. It's not necessary, strictly speaking. You can just beat the shit out of them, because apparently, despite being a medical student, Jude is very well versed in the combat arts, so. Someone bought you Zisteria? Oh, you quit the series after Abyss. Someone bought you Zisteria, but you never tried it. No, there you go. Fair and valid AF. Can't stop teasing that game. You call it Tales of the Zesty Sauce. Be nice to get a remake, because you'd get to see your teenage crush Tyr again. Yeah, there you go. It's on the 3DS, if I remember right, but I don't know. You'd have to find a cartridge copy now, because the eShop's closed, so it wouldn't wouldn't work out too well.
Forever.
They're gonna need to release it on a different system now, I think, because it's kind of more exclusive than they imagined it being. Yeah, medical kung fu. There you go. You always had to find a cartridge. It wasn't on the eShop. That's incredibly short-sighted. Abyss 3D was cartridge exclusive? Why? That seems weird. Why would they do that?
Nothing about this makes any sense. What's going on here?
Good question, Jude, but apparently we're getting raw materials out of the matter, so I suppose we shouldn't be too unenthusiastic. By the way, if I sway a little bit like this, it's because the control is fairly finicky, and by that I mean, like, basically, you can move from side to side very easily in the game, so if I move from side to side, that's why. But yeah, see what I mean? You don't really need to wait, at least not at first. Because the enemy kind of, they'll wait for you. There's a big window where you can get damage off without having to worry about them attacking you, so. The door is locked tight and can't be opened. Probably where Mila comes in, if I'm honest. Or that hatch that was over there might be where she comes in. I forget. Or no, it's this hatch, actually. We came in from the other hatch. I remembered there being a couple of hatches. I did have to play through this entire first dungeon in order to get the title screen anyway. Here we have a wonderful piece of, something. What's this supposed to be, anyway? I don't know, but it's worth 50 points. So that's probably good. Did that man just explode into giblets? Yes, very, very likely he did. I probably shouldn't have done that directly in front of the enemy. Especially since it's, you know, got a little ending lag on it. But yeah, see my TP meter going up as I attack every time he's giving me one back. So that lets you use arts pretty frequently. I'll probably heal her at the beginning of the next fight just to top myself off, actually. It's okay, you question that too, because what the fuck? Here's the price of 3DS game cartridges rising by the day. Yeah, it's not a good situation for the 3DS cartridges, so. Metal, some kind of metal. Every enemy seems to explode into giblets in this game. Yeah, pretty much. They explode into raw materials. There's just a big boom that happens when they just a psss, like they're leaking their fluids all over the place, like their blood and everything just gushes out. Sorry, I'm also apparently in a morbid mood today because I was stuck like a pig at the thing and at the blood work place, and apparently now I'm taking that morbidity and putting it into everything else. Sephico, you missed the story. They had to stick me 4 times. 2 separate nurses had to stick me 4 times in order to get a vein to get 2 vials of blood out of me. And it was not my fault, as far as I'm aware. My veins are pretty good, but I don't know. Okay, I'm topped off. We can fight now. Stop that, sir. Some enemies have hyper armor later, though, to where you can't just beat them into a corner like this.
All right.
Especially bosses. Bosses have, they tried to fix a problem that, from what I understand, was a problem starting from Symphonia, and it continued all the way through Vesperia, where you could almost, like, chain lock enemies down by, you know, just using arts and attacks in good timing over and over and over again. And they tried to fix that problem in this game to, I think, varying results, but, well, we'll talk about it when it comes time for boss fights. So, when it becomes boss time, even.
Demon Fist! Now!
By the way, you can knock enemies over if you press down on the stick there. Not really something I want to do just yet. Eventually, Demon Fist will gain wake-up properties, where you can knock them over and then use Demon Fist to immediately wake them back up, and it'll deal extra damage to them, but we don't have that ability yet, so... Actually, I'm not sure if Demon Fist does that or if it happens from another art, but there are several arts that you can use to quote-unquote wake up enemies, so... Oh. Last time you got blood work done, the blood flowed like fucking water. Guess you just got the one vein because you're mono. Yeah, I suppose they should have just looked for that one, huh? Try to do something different, and that was the result. Your whole arm turned purple one time. Holy shit, what caused that? I think there's a thing called aspiration they have to do, releasing air in the needle, or you get bruising. Yes. Yeah, and what happened with me is that it aspirated all the way, and that was why they had to stick me 4 times in order to get what they needed out of me, is because they lost pressure in the vein 3 separate times while sticking me. So they stuck me one place, then they had to stick me in a different place on the same arm, then they went back to the first place to try to get that further down. Then they just said, fuck it, and we're going to go for the other arm, and they finally got their second vial on the other arm. The first vial came out just fine, but second vial apparently not so much. And again, I don't think it was my fault. Like, I had my arms down and everything to try to make it so that the vein was easier for them to get. And I've never had this problem before, so... Like, I know I've heard when you get old, they have harder and harder times finding veins, but I didn't get that old that quickly. Like, I'm not ancient all of a sudden, you know? That'd be just ridiculous. Definitely a Simpsons meme you can post for that, the Mr. Burns one. Okay. I don't remember. There's a lot of Mr. Burns memes, but feel free to post it in the meme section. Why are we following some random girl now? Weren't we following the other girl who was, I don't know, probably a lot hotter? Why is Professor House in here and dying? I use hot in a subjective term, obviously. Like, Jude probably finds her very hot because he's a horny teenager. I can never really see that in polygons, but, you know. Oh, good, my professor just got turned into that goop from Neon Genesis Evangelion, except it's green this time instead of orange. Phenomenal. Secret military experiments being conducted in the main character's hometown. Well, that's a first. Usually they just burn a thing down.
You're the visitor I heard about.
How did you hear about me? I killed all the guards on the way here.
What is this place? What'd you do to the professor?
And also, how did you figure out how to do that to the professor when you are at the oldest, as old as Jude?
Expression. It's priceless.
And also
I love the look
kind
of
of
fear in your eyes.
a little bit off in the head. Okay, well, now we're fighting.
What's going on? Why are you doing this?
You're such an idiot.
Ow.
Let me spell it out for you. You're gonna die.
What?
I mean, at the rate I'm going, yes, you're correct. I am gonna die. Oh, that's not good.
Stop! Demon Fist!
Okay, Jude, we gotta back the hell up, big guy. No, back up, as in, like, leaf. Run. I need to use healer. There we go. Okay. Not the best, but, you know. Yep, now I'm dead, for sure. You can win that fight, but I was really fucking around there. And it's not something you need to win. If you get hit dead on by a fireball, she takes 60% of your health, so, you know. I always forget about the fact that I need to hold the free run button for some reason.
There has to be a way.
Oh, quit
Well, there
trying
is,
to
but we needed to use more
act
healer. I don't know if he's acting, if I'm honest. That's kind of just how Jude is. Hi, when did you get here?
So you're the visitor I heard about.
Do you just say that to everyone? Can you not keep track of these things?
I'll kill you first.
How do you know she's gonna be fun?
Run!
I don't think she needs to, Jude. Why would you use fire on the fire lady? What if she absorbed it? Like, wouldn't that be problematic?
I'll rip that pretty face of yours to pieces.
Somehow I feel like she doesn't really... Yeah, feel like you're much of a threat, lady. I guess we're doing this again. I'll try to be better at the video game this time. Oh, good, I got a full heal. That's fun. Ooh, power hit. Oh, God. So when you see that blue exclamation point, the battle's over. No, when you see that blue exclamation point, you want to get the hell away from the boss, because
I can't believe you were able to summon him.
there's a mechanic in the game about that. Maybe I should talk about it the next time we fight an actual boss, because this was kind of a cakewalk since she just overpowered the sin out of that lady with about 2 arts. Holy hell. Just turned into Tang instrumentality project going on, something like that. Professor Smoke, don't breathe this. They put your fist in crazy. There you go. I mean, this is Mega Man Battle Network. Wait, do Tales games have damage absorption? I think they do. I remember there being some damage absorption, but maybe I'm misremembering. Like, maybe I'm remembering a different RPG. Sometimes they all blend together. It's kind of hard to remember.
So this is experience.
What, you've never had experience points before? How did you get so strong if you've never had experience points before? She didn't even let me have any fun with this lady. Like, I was gonna, like, take the hate for a minute and, you know, actually try to damage her, and then she was like, okay, here, have a couple of great spirits. I don't think I would ever want to live here, no.
I'm sorry.
But I couldn't go back because, again, that would have required swimming mechanics to be something that the game has.
Is this the work of the Spyrex?
There's that word again.
What-ix?
I guess Jude doesn't know what that is.
Could it be connected to the disappearance of the lesser spirits?
Huh? You're losing me. Disappearing spirits?
Jude, I don't think she's talking to you, buddy.
You really need to go home. Someone might not swoop to your rescue next time you're in trouble.
All you remember is Meteor Swarm and Abyss. Yeah, there you go. Speaking of swoop to my rescue, this lady here, shouldn't we, like, kill her?
Somewhere else.
Or if we're not going to kill her, at least put her into one of these pods? Because you know that she's going to come back if we don't do that, right? Like, she has a unique weapon and everything. She's not just some random mook.
If the professor were with me, they might have let me leave, but... Can I come with you?
I see. If you stick with the person who saved you, then you won't need any more saving. Clever boy.
Yes, that is exactly why he wanted to stick with you. It has nothing to do with the other features of your body. Oh, sorry, I skipped that. I didn't realize it was going to skip through that.
Mila Maxwell.
I'm so used to pressing auto advance. Maybe I should leave it on then, because I can shitpost without advancing it. You know, I could just pause it, I suppose. I'll turn it on. Hang on. Let's go back to the options. Anyway, Mila's in our party. She's incredibly powerful. 2,000 HP and over 200 TP at the start. Now, her arts use a lot of, well, TP, but still, she's incredibly powerful, considering, you know, what we just dealt with. So where'd her body go? Did we put her in a pod? She's not in any of these. Did she already disappear? Really?
My hands are still shaking.
And for good reason. You were almost killed.
I'm a civilian. Why would she attack me like that?
I don't think she's part of Rashigol's army.
If she's not a soldier, then what is she doing at a military facility?
An ironic question for you or I to ask, don't you think?
Yeah, you know.
I see your point.
That makes sense.
Did you kill her?
I'm not sure. I tried to go easy on her, but humans are so fragile. I keep having to tell the Four not to overdo it.
I'm not really following you.
That's because you're in the dark about this whole matter, Jude. Oh, look, another skit, Next Order of Business. They just throw these at you at the beginning, don't they?
I assume you had some reason for coming to this place.
I was worried because...
Yeah, tie the fuck up. Why does no one tie up the bosses?
But
I feel like that wouldn't really make a difference, honestly. If we stuck her in the pod and locked her in there, it probably would have, but... That would have required our characters to be morally gray.
I see. Yes. Yes, I suppose so.
Yep, she's on the phone again.
Wait for me.
We have to go back up here in case there's a treasure chest up this ladder. Yeah, hey Jude. There you go. His name is Jude Mathis. That was the part that I skipped. So that's it. Maybe I shouldn't touch this computer in case, like, it turns these other people into goop as well. Also, we don't have to climb down ladders in this game. We can just kind of jump down. So that's cool. Trying to think of a reason why that would be. Might have something to do with the fact that Mila's outfit is almost entirely consisting of oven mitts. So.
I've been wondering what this thing is since I set off.
Like, that skirt is short.
Well, it comes in handy if you face monsters. It gives you the power
Voice
to fight
Tales
them.
of skits.
I
On
got
my
one myself
continent,
when I
yes,
left
they
home,
started doing
just
these
case.
in... I think this was the first game, actually, they started doing these, unless the PS3 version of Vesperia came out before this one did in Japan. I don't remember, but it started becoming a thing in the late 2000s, early 2010s. So, anyway, there's a tutorial on how the level-up system in this game works. Speaking of the early 2010s, every single RPG that came out in the early 2010s was so enamored with the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X that they had to make their own version. So here we are on the Tales of Xillia sphere grid. It's more of a sphere spider web, but, you know. They're going to give you a tutorial on how this works, but basically the gist of it is pick a node. You have GP up in the corner there in the top left. Every node costs 1, as far as I'm aware. There might be some that cost more later, but excuse me. To start with, every node costs 1. Pick a node, activate it, it'll light up. Now you have whatever that node has. So in this case, we got 9 extra dexterity. And then you can draw a line in between the nodes. So pick another node. And once you pick that node, you'll make a line from the last one that you activated, or from whichever one you're branching off from. I think if I remember correctly, unlike the sphere grid, you can actually like branch off anywhere. Like if I wanted to, I could go back to the purple node, the dex node up there, and I could go to the other side if I really wanted to. So anyway, now that we've fixed those 2 nodes, you'll notice nodes that are floating in between the spider webs there. Once you've surrounded them completely by buying all the nodes around them, you'll get whatever is in the middle of them. In this case, we'll get an Art Cerberus Strike if we fill all of these out. So let's just fill these out, and then once we do that, we'll be able to use Cerberus Strike on top of Demon Fist and Healer. So there you go. And there are also key nodes, kind of similar to key spheres in Final Fantasy X. They lock off later parts of the Lilium Orb. So once you've bought the ones with the locks around them, it'll allow the Lilium Orb to get larger, and then you can invest more into the characters. So there you go. I usually wait to do these until I have a decent chunk of GP, honestly. So
that's how it works.
I usually don't do them
actually
like
my
right
first time
away when you get
developing it,
GP,
too.
right when you level up. It's
So it's a tool
more of like a
that taps
once an
into
hour
inherent
type of a thing.
abilities.
I might do it like once a
imagine that
stream,
powerless
honestly.
humans
We'll see
never
how
leave home
much of
without
a
them.
challenge I have with
You
that
talk as if
happening.
you're not
So.
human yourself.
Yeah, boo, sphere grid, not this again. We'll already have enough with the sphere grid once we play Final Fantasy X, but that's later. One and the same.
Mila Maxwell. It must be pretty weird having the same name as
Yo,
the Lord of
Unica from East
Spirits.
Origin rocked those
Not
oven
at
mitts.
all.
Yeah, but Unica also
We are
had
one
like
and the same.
actual clothes
sorry?
on underneath
I am
all the
Maxwell,
oven mitts. Mila's
Lord of
outfit is
Spirits.
basically just oven
What?
mitts and
Come
short
on,
skirt.
You're totally human. You
Jude, she just summoned the 4 great
look just
spirits.
like a normal woman.
Yes,
I would
that's
hope
what you
so.
were looking at. Please,
That is
Jude,
the form I
stop.
created for myself.
The form you created?
I got tired of being an old man, so instead of being a geriatric old man, I decided to be the apple of my eye. Young teenage girls.
So you're that Maxwell, Lord of Spirits.
She's
ruler of
Mila
elements.
Maxwell. Sorry, I sort of
believe
glossed
me?
over that part.
A person
She is
claiming to be a
Maxwell.
spirit?
The Maxwell.
It's a bit much
The
to swallow.
ruler of all the
Then
spirits.
how do you
That
humans
one.
prove your identities to each other?
Well, by showing identification, I guess. I have a medical school ID card.
Ah, then I doubt that I'll be able to prove my identity to your satisfaction. I wouldn't even know where to apply for a spirit ID card.
Is it
I kind
really
of
okay
wish
for
that
me
you
to
had
follow
some of
this
that
person?
levity through most of the game, honestly, because I feel like if you joked, you'd be less bland of a character. Sorry. I said the teasing was going to stop. It hasn't stopped yet. You completely skipped over Vesperia and never had an Xbox 360. Yeah, same. And that makes sense why you ended at Abyss. I never had one either, so I didn't get to play Vesperia, even though I wanted to. Skits are the lifeblood of this series to you. There you go. Never playing this, you hated the sphere grid. This is a sphere web. Maxwell decided to yes queen slay. Yeah, something like that, yeah. Alright, so all the doors that were locked and can be opened can now be opened with this key card that we got from random fire girl that has a hard-on for torturing people, even though she's, again, at maximum as old as Jude. I don't know who messed up so badly that that would happen. Ooh, chamomile. But there it is. I don't think you can make the raw materials into, like, food items in this game. Like, I don't think you can take the chamomile and use it in a recipe, if I remember correctly, but I'm probably going to hold on to it for a little while anyway. I'd probably just give it to Mila to begin with, but I might hold on to it for a little while just in case I can do something with it later. Blue X. So, you'll notice that the enemies took damage when we started the fight there. It is because of the fact that when you start a battle, hang on, by going behind the enemy, I'll stop that, you get a little extra damage off. It's almost like a preemptive strike, basically.
This is the power of Maxwell.
But, yeah, you get a little extra damage off by running up behind them. I usually don't do that too often in this game. It's a little bit better when you do it in Xillia 2, because if I remember correctly, there's like 2 separate preemptive strikes you can get. There's one that just damages the enemy, and there's one that damages them and stuns them if you get them completely from behind. So, was he okay? Well, he's not okay now. So, he's, he had a bit of trouble. He probably saw me on the stairs and was trying to walk up to me, and then I just was on the stairs. So, like, enemies will do that in this game. Some of them will like run after you, and like this, they'll kind of keep going, and eventually they'll stop like that, and then you can get a preemptive strike like this. Oh, there's the stun. Okay, I don't know what the difference was there, but you take the aggro on that one. I'll take this one, Mila. I guess the game will tell us now what the difference was there. Or it won't, because it'll just tell me about taunts instead, which, I mean, that's fair, but I always forget taunts exist in the Tales games, so, you know. Anyway, there are 2 separate ways that you can encounter enemies, I guess, if you, in terms of preemptive strikes, that is. I guess if you just run behind them normally, you'll get just damage, but if you run behind them when they're stopped and wary of your presence, you'll get a super preemptive strike that stuns them too, so that's cool. I don't know if I'll be doing that often. I don't know if I have the patience to do that all the time, but I mean, I have the patience to get the regular ones, so. How about you stop that, sir? So that Mila doesn't use all of her TP like she already is. I could switch her strategy up if I wanted to, but we'll switch her strategy later. Yeah, okay, so that's what you do. So if you hold down, in my case, the circle button, and then you press a button on the D-pad, it'll swap the character that you're playing as. Let me know if anybody wants to see me do that in the chat. I don't know if I'm going to do that on demand, but I am planning on swapping characters around as I play the game. Again, I want to get kind of a good idea of what all the characters do, so that way I'm not in the dark when we get to Xillia 2. Dude, why do you keep taking their poo? I need it for research! That costs 40 TP, holy shit. She is being a gas guzzler, yeah. That's why I don't know if she'll use orange gels at this point, but if she will, then, well, I guess I'm not going to have any orange gels now, will I? Okay, that takes us back out to the Fenmont Research District, but that's the door that won't open, so I guess we'll go this way instead. Yeah, she has some really strong skills, but they do, in fact, take a lot to use, so I was going to press the skip there, but that's okay. Maybe I should back up before the fireball hits me. She can tank a little better. She has more HP.
Far too easy.
Well, yeah, because you have the great spirits on your side. That's why it's far too easy. Here we go. Okay, an advantage plus encounter. So if you begin the battle by touching an enemy from behind without being noticed, so that's it. So if they're wary of your presence but not actively pursuing you, and you hit them from the back in the field, you'll deal damage and they'll begin the battle stunned. So, if you're really concerned about an encounter, you could always do that. So there you go. Okay, I wasn't sure if the skip was going to show up there or not after I went in the battle.
Now he's dead. What are you doing?
I'm cuddling you.
Excuse me, what?
Why?
I read it in a book. When humans are upset, they feel better when you cuddle them.
I feel more upset that you're violating my personal space.
Touch.
That sounds like a book about child rearing. I'm not a baby.
This technique has no effect on you? Humans are so complicated.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess I do feel a little better. Thank you.
Jude, do not encourage her. Stop. Oh, there's more skits going deeper.
Wait.
Why are there so many skits all at once? They really front-loaded these, didn't they?
There's something seriously wrong here. Shouldn't we get out?
I'm aware of the danger, but there's something I must find. I'm afraid I can't escort you out before then.
Sure. After all, I was the one who asked to go with you.
He is very agreeable, isn't he?
Nothing. When my business here is done, I promise to see you safely out of here.
How will you do that after we've murdered, like, half a platoon of military units by this point? We're all going to jail forever. Yeah, Mamma Mila! Just look back and you're greeted by a shitty anime boy and the usual hot babe. Yeah, it's the JRPG. Oh, dear heaven. She's not wrong, but is she a great spirit or something? No, don't encourage her. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she is Maxwell. She's the lord of all the spirits. So that's why she decided to be, instead of being a crotchety old man, she decided to be a literal woman as object in this game. She is the king of elemental spirits, Maxwell. You two need help. No, we don't. Old man normally, but he decided it's his time to be waifu. It's fine. That's what he feels like doing with his superpowers at this point, then I'm gonna let him. Who am I to say what Maxwell should and shouldn't be doing? Hell, if I keep telling him what to do, he'll ask me, "Think you can avoid this?" That really stopped right before. God damn it. Okay. Oop, I'm in the wrong direction. Manual overload. There we go. It's fine, I'll just take on one while she takes on two. No big deal. Yeah, Meteor Storm. Ah, the strategy menu. So now we can, provide different strategies for people, mostly to prevent Mila from using all of her TP, but she's currently not using any of my orange gels, so I'm kind of okay with it, if I'm honest. I'm gonna go up here. I don't remember which of these doors to go through. No, actually, that's not true. I do remember which of these doors to go through, but I'm choosing to say no. Right, I'm gonna go back here. There we go. Okay, that wasn't aimed at me. God. Good. Very good. Maybe I should go after the other guy instead of that. Nice dodge, Jude. Thanks, me. Don't you go away from me. Who do you think you are?
This is the power of Maxwell.
Hell, Mila might level up by the time we're done in here at the rate we're going. She'll be even stronger than she already is. Also, I think that enemy was a tough enemy, if I remember correctly. When they have steam coming out of their head, they're more powerful than usual, if I recall. Hi. Hang on. Yeah, let's hit the guy that's casting spells, because... Oh good, we got them all in a nice little row, so they can just die from oneself. Fun. Oh, we got some bonus EXP. I guess it's based on your combo, the time of the battle. So you get a little bit extra for doing well in a battle, but I don't know. I've never really bothered with that. It's just like, whatever I get, So... Hold on, aside from these two perverts here, the two current characters are Pervert Boy and Ancient Spirit King, as in male, who is a pervert by being a hot girl. Did you miss something else? Welcome to Tales of Xillia. No, I think that's about right for now. Other than the girl that's about as old as Jude who likes torturing people, that's pretty much all you get from this game so far. So... She was an antagonist, though, as far as I know. She was the first boss. Some money. That's nice. That'll be helpful for whatever shopping I have to do later on here. And there's one more place to go over here. The doctor morphed into a doggo. As he should. Now I can pet him. Soul cat. Never mind. It's a cat. It's a cat dog, even. I guess I'm after this guy instead. Okay, okay. Oh, stay. When I say stay, stay. As in stay in the corner. Don't make me boop the snore.
The likes of you will not stop me.
I don't know, I think I prefer Undine in Xillia 2 because it's a healing spell, honestly. It's kind of just more damage in this game, which Mila really doesn't need, but, you know, it's there. Yeah, she won't be an antagonist long, not at the rate we're going. I mean, again, we didn't put her in the pod, which I think would have actually helped, but that would have required our characters to be morally gray if we wanted to put her in the pod, so, you know. The usual sadist, yeah. All the anime checks are being ticked here, check boxes. What you're reminded of, the old all arts combo videos from Omega Evolution? Good lord, I wish I was that good at the game. Omega is a beast. She was the design in charge of this human ranch. Yeah, there you go. Don't think those are for petting. No, they're definitely trying to murder me, but all dogs are good dogs, so that means that if dangerous, why friend-shaped, you know. Human ranches were a thing, huh? Surprised the main character's a brawler. Yeah, they didn't give him a sword this time. Mila has that instead. Haven't seen a brawl pro tag since Senel. I don't even know who that is. The Kudare and the Sundare, and you have bingo. I don't know. Okay, I know what a Sundare is. I don't know what a Kundare is, though. That's a new term for me. Then again, I haven't watched any anime since, like, 2008, so I think that's why I'm in the dark. Alright, well, some raw materials, so that's not bad. I probably missed some as well in some of the other rooms because I wasn't paying that much attention, but that's okay. Alright, so let's go all the way around on the bottom level now, and then we'll go in through that door. The only door that's available, once I've exhausted this place of its EXP.
Watch out!
Okay, that one did hit. Good. I don't know if this L1 to change targets thing is going to work out. Oh, God. Is going to work out. It's on the same, whatchamacallit is now.
This is the power of Maxwell.
It's on the same side as free run, so I don't know if it's going to work out. I might be able to do it, though, if I use my middle finger to hold down L2 when I'm free running, and then L1 with the pointer finger. I don't have a good habit of doing that, and I probably should. Let's see here. Maybe I could just do it this way. My lord, that did 700 damage. She is atrociously powerful. Oh, Sentinels from Tales of Legendia on PS2. There you go. Kudare are the characters that are so emotionally distant. Okay, got it. I'll try to remember that. He punch everything to death. Mono, tell me what anime you watch. Maybe there was a Kudare. The last anime that I ever watched was Gurren Lagann. So, there might have been a Kudare there. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it again. I haven't watched it in, well, years and years. 15 years at this point. So, that was the last one I watched. So. I got this one. And this one. Yes, dude, it's over already because Mila did 800 damage with Gnome, so, you know, that kind of makes a difference. He's a white-haired, slightly dark-skinned guy? Okay, gotcha. I'll keep it in mind. Kudare is like Ray from Evangelion? Okay. Don't know that one. Admittedly, the Kudare mostly shows up in the harem animes. Okay, yeah, I don't think I ever watched any of those. Not as far as I'm aware anyway, so I probably didn't get too much exposure to it. She naturally regens 13 TP every so often. That's why she hasn't run out yet. Yeah, I suppose that's nice, because it means that she won't just be like, yeah, I can use these spirits, but only like 2 times, and then that's it. Oh my god, she just juggled the person. Also, they have so much wind-up that it's a wonder they can get anything done. Oh, okay. Cool. So the sneaking up is not working. I just don't have the patience for it, to be honest. Because, like, you could sneak up and around, but this game is already so long without me sneaking up on every enemy that I don't have the patience to keep doing it. It's not necessary in this case anyway.
Soldiers may panic in the face of actual combat. Yet you seem completely together.
Well, I had a friend I trained with who used to shout "sparring time" and attack me out of the blue. So it's probably thanks to her.
She sounds like a fun person to hang out with.
Covered in bruises.
I'm sorry to dredge up such painful memories.
What? No, it's not like that.
Don't all bullied children say that?
Bullied? That's not what... Wait. Was it?
It's funny because all these books that Mila apparently read to understand human nature seem to be making Jude question a few things. We'll meet that person later. Not yet. I don't have fire, Mila, so you're gonna have to do that. You're the fire expert after all. I mean, you're the 4 elements expert, to be fair, right now, so...
Demon Fist! Demon Fist!
Who's next? Onward.
You know, pretty soon, Jude, we're not going to be able to stick this shit in our pockets anymore. Literally, because you're going to have too much shit in our inventory. I actually don't know if there's a hard limit to raw materials in terms of how many you can keep in your inventory. But,
Far too easy.
there is for items. If I remember right, it's either 20 or 30. So, like, all these extra orange gels and apple gels we're getting will hit the cap eventually. So, like... Actually, it might be 15, because I know I've probably had more than that so far. Let's see. Here's the materials. Well, it's not 15 for the materials, because I've already got 17 wood chunks, so... Oh, yeah, and I guess I've got a bunch of DLC from the game, too. Hang on, let's go back. Including, apparently, a swimwear costume from Mila that I guess I got from buying the Collector's Edition. Here's a bunch of other stuff, bonus costumes, sample material set, I guess I can use that. Adventurer's Nest Egg for 1,000 gold. Okay, that's fun. I bought the Collector's Edition of this game, because this is back when I was young and stupid and still bought Collector's Editions for video games. So, yeah, got a few extras out of it. I mean, I guess I have, like, the soundtrack and everything as well, so I suppose I can't complain too hard about it, but, like... Oh god. I'm just gonna beat my way out of this corner, hang on. Even though it's the center of the battlefield, so it can't really be a corner by any stretch of the imagination. I'll be with you in a moment, pup. I really shouldn't knock enemies down yet. I don't have, like, a wake up yet. This doesn't wake up yet, see?
Is fighting the only answer?
Why are you asking this after we've slaughtered dozens of soldiers and a bunch of dogs, Jude? Like, it's a little late for that, isn't it? I mean, I guess we're just knocking them out, maybe, but, you know. Cutscene time. So I will check chat after cutscene is over, so that I'm not, like, missing something important.
What is that?
Like a railgun.
A Spyrix weapon. I knew it.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess this is a military installation, so that would explain why they have a giant railgun, but what would they need that for? Like, what is in this world that we would need something like this?
The Lance of Kresnik?
And also, why is their computer not password protected? Like, why can Jude just log into that?
Huh? What are you doing?
Jude, less questioning, more getting out of the way of the summoning circle.
Humans call irony, naming this weapon after Kresnik. Listen up. We must destroy that which harms man and spirit.
I think she knows something I don't.
Those are the 4
Jude?
great spirits. So
Jude.
that really makes her Maxwell?
Jude, less questioning. That is a literal ring that she is using to shoot a laser. Get out of the way. You're making her job harder. I guess she redirected it and turned it into the Bahamut summoning circle from Final Fantasy X, so that's fun. See, this is what I'm talking about. You don't put her in the pod, you don't tie her up. She shows up again and makes her life a living hell. Why would you do that? Aggressively, furious typing. Why would you do this to yourselves? Like, why not be a little morally gray if it means making your job easier later? Because we wouldn't have a plot, actually. That's the reason, but, you know. Oh, that's probably not good.
What the heck's going on?
They're draining all of my Saints Row energy out of me!
Going to drain you too?
Your suffering. It's worth it!
Uh-huh.
Acting directly on her mana lobes.
So we should run now, right?
But it's nothing I can't deal with.
Also, why does it have like a remote absorb things directly around you function? Like, wouldn't that be located somewhere else in the facility so it could focus on, I don't know, being a giant gun instead of also being a mana magnet?
Look down!
There's a trap that wasn't activated before.
Stop, or you'll be dragged in with it.
What do you mean? Oh, them. I thought for a second she was talking to Jude, but she hasn't really been talking to Jude since we got here, was she? So that's fair.
Huh? The four spirits?
I've been contacted telepathically.
Wait. Take Mila and then run?
How do you expect me to take Mila? Have you seen her?
What are you trying to do?
Like, she's about 6 inches taller than me and has about 20 pounds more muscle. Compared to her, I'm a twink. I was gonna start shouting, but I was in the middle of a sentence, so. Mila, I don't think we need that anymore. They stopped the weapon by falling into it. Speaking of falling, I'm about to fall off a ledge. Whoa. Boy, it's a good thing I caught this edge that definitely isn't textured. Wonder what that's gonna be useful for later. Well, that's not good. Nice attempt, Jude. I mean, I know she was far away, but, like, still. Could have, like, done something else. Other than die. And then our two main characters died. The end. Now we'll play as that guy instead. Intro time. Now we've earned our title screen. I'm going to refrain from talking during the intro parts for every subsequent playthrough at this point, every subsequent stream, because as far as I'm aware, that is copyrighted on YouTube, so I'm probably going to have to remove those sections of gameplay anyway. So no real point in talking if that's what we're going to have to do. So I'll just enjoy the music while we're at it. I'll talk about that in a second once I catch up on chat as well. So. Or maybe I'll do that first.
So you really have lost the power of the four great spirits.
Yeah, they got absorbed into the weapon. Like a magnet. Just kind of...
There's no way you could destroy that device without their power.
You know, white really wasn't a good color for Mila to be wearing if we were going to be going swimming, was it?
Listen, you've been a great help, Jude. Thank you. You should go home now.
Wait!
I was going to say, before this TV static water drives your brain crazy. Anyway, Mila left the party, so now we're by ourselves again. Let me catch up on chat, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's see here. You binge watched a ton of harem anime in high school because you were disturbed AF. Most of us were during puberty. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it's like, okay, you have access to the internet, and you're during puberty? Internet porn! So another 20 streams. Yeah, this game is going to take probably at least 24 streams. I anticipate it taking about that long, because that's about a little over 60 hours of gameplay footage, and my first playthrough of this game was 60 hours, so I anticipate it taking about that long. Cliche anime schlock for 20 streams. There you go. That's why I love the skits. They breathe life into the party. The fuck was that? The man teleport dodge. Yeah, every character that you can play in this game has a gimmick. In Jude's case, when you dodge an attack with good timing, he will snap pivot behind the enemy, and they get hit in the back, which gives them an increased chance of getting hit by a critical, or gives you an increased chance of getting more action points. So that's his gimmick as a melee character. So at least no one will notice him shitting his own pants with all his extra shit around. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Pamco, thank you for your money, Mono. You're welcome, I guess, because I was young and stupid. Take great offense that you did just spend $155 on the Tevi Deluxe Collector's Edition. Called him Scamco after a while. $155 on Rabby Ribby 2. Shh, don't judge me. Pay that much if an actual bunny girl delivered the game to me. Oh, there you go. That's funny. Genki, help us. It's gone from suck to blow. And now our powerful character is a weakling. Yeah, can you imagine picking Mila to start this game? Couldn't be me, because then my power trip would be gone by now. I'd be like, ah, damn it. I think if I remember right, though, the intro that plays is different slightly if you have a Mila file, so I might, like, make a Mila file just so that way we can look at the different intros each time we boot the game up. So maybe, like, alternate it or something. Like, this is stream 1, so we saw Jude's intro. Then next stream, I'll make a Mila file in between streams so we can see the Mila intro and alternate them like I did Mario and Luigi in that Super Mario Galaxy stream. So, this really is just a playable anime. Holy shit, it is Golden Sun. This is just a playable anime, yes. That's what most Tales games are, so. Welcome to 2012 and onward Tales games. Not being mean, they really all fit the bill. You are speechless about all of this. I don't know what to say either, to be fair. Also, Jude punched a fish down a waterfall. Best pro tag. Jude, fuck off, autocorrect. Maxwell is the female playable character. Yes. Yes, Amila is Maxwell in this case. Jude is just some random pre-med student, and Mila is the Lord of all spirits. We couldn't be much different as characters if we tried. Maybe that's what brings them together as a party? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so before I get going, it always pays to have a plan, apparently. I didn't know he was going to say something. I also don't know what that was all about, but either way, I was going to start getting going there, but before I get going, we can talk about the intro a little bit. Fucking gorgeous animation. Really like the song, too, but again, it's copyrighted, so I think, as far as I know. I've seen it copyrighted on YouTube, so I don't know if we'll be able to hear it in the stream archives there, but really solid animation. Probably some of the best animation work I've seen on the PS3, if I'm honest. It was drawn by the Japanese animation studio UFO Table, and their stuff is really high fidelity, especially for the time this game came out. Like, it was mind-boggling, dude. I know it's basically just a glorified FMV, but some crisp-ass animation for the PS3, so. We're pretty much at an NPC in power level next to her. Yeah, we were. Now we're both on about the same playing field, as we'll see in a moment. Yeah, that UFO table. Shit. Yeah, that one. Dung. Dig dug. Anyway. Okay, I guess I'll go home. Or I'll not be able to go home before another cutscene plays.
Foolish, Jude. You should have gone home like I asked.
I couldn't do that even if I tried, Mila. The game won't let me. I don't know if it's a good idea to... Oh. Are you okay?
Haven't you ever wielded a sword before?
Of course. But I always relied on the Force power to guide my arm.
You couldn't literally be bothered to lift a finger before this?
Come quietly or else.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
I can't either, Jude. What the hell? Isn't it a little hypocritical for Mila to be going after a weapon that absorbs spirit energy when she's literally been using the spirits to her own whims for the entirety of her life? Isn't that a little weird? Am I the only one that sees that?
Over already?
Like, you're going after a weapon that bends the will of the spirits to its whims, but you're bending the will of the spirits to your whims to move your arms properly rather than taking matters into your own hands.
What's gotten into me?
What?
You saved me again, Jude. Thank you.
I mean, in for a penny, in for a
Better get out of
pound, I
Fenrir
guess.
while you can.
Right. You have my gratitude.
I've already killed at least 3 dozen
The city
soldiers in the
entrance is
process of
always
getting out
crawling
of
with
the
police.
lab.
You'd be safer heading to the Sea Haven.
The Sea Haven.
I suppose going to a beach would be a little bit different for a first dungeon, wouldn't it? I guess the sewer was the first dungeon, but, you know, the first proper dungeon. Usually they send you to a cave or something. Or the Lost Woods. Something to that
You don't know
effect.
where it is, do you?
How did you get here, exactly? If you don't know where the Sea Haven... Did you fly? Like, is that a self-power? Can you fly once you get self back?
I'm
Mila's
sorry
back
to
in our
have
party
put
now.
you in this situation.
It's okay. Besides, I still owe you for saving me. I'll show you to the Sea Haven.
Again, I don't feel like we have much of a
The Sea
choice
Haven is
anyway.
on the opposite side of the city from here. We need to go towards the Central Plaza first.
Because I'm going to jail if I stay here, so... Look, you loved Dig Dug when you were a kid. Yeah, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. Played a little of it. Excuse me. How did she ever survive? Yeah, that's a question. I don't have an answer. Probably just relied on the spirit energy sustaining her the whole time. This is the first dungeon. Yeah, the sewer was the first dungeon, so the second dungeon is the Sea Haven. So, it's not really a dungeon, more like a world map, but there is no world map in this game, if I remember correctly, so... The beach? I mean, Mystery Dungeon 2. Yeah, but that was a beach cave, so it's kind of like a halfway house. It sort of counts, but... I don't know. I don't know if I'd count that as a beach specifically, so... Jude has 3 GP, Mila has 7. Okay. Work on her magic? Probably work on her magic. She's kind of a red mage-esque character, so she'll get mostly magical attacks. Momentary gain. Gain AC momentarily up to +3 when avoiding an enemy attack with a backstep. Ooh, that sounds like a good thing. I should probably grab that for Jude, too, shouldn't I? I'll have to keep that in mind for later. I'll go grab it right now. And then I can probably grab a couple of other things while I'm at it, too. And then Splash. Okay, she gets a water spell. Don't know if I'll need that for the Sea Haven, though. Level Restorer also sounds really good, so let's grab that because that completely restores HP and TP when you gain a level. That is a godsend out in the field because you don't have to worry about going to inns nearly as much anymore when you grab that, so... yeah, definitely getting that first. Magic Guard, probably want to grab that too. Rock Trine, HP increase, and then Splash. I don't really think we need Splash all that badly right now because we're going to the water area, so like we won't need it for much, but we'll work on getting Splash a little bit later. Again, Mila is mostly... She's better with fire and wind than she is with water and earth. You get another caster later that's better with water and earth. So, what does this do? Oh, okay. It brings me out the whole thing. All right, cool. And yeah, I'll just get the dex for her. We'll just top off whatever GP I've got left. And as for Jude, I guess I got to get Magic Guard in the process of going backwards towards momentary gain and everything, don't I? So I guess I'll go grab these now. You played something similar to Dig Dug called Mr. Do. It was an NES game, but it was very NES-like. Yeah, there you go. I also played... Actually, my first experience with Dig Dug wasn't with Dig Dug at all. It was with a game called Mr. Driller. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. That was an old PS1 game. My mom friggin' loved that game. We used to play that co-op, like, a lot. But, yeah, that was my first experience with anything similar to Dig Dug, so there you go. Oh, it was an arcade port, likely? Okay, that makes sense.
The path that leads to Talum Medical School.
And there are enemies on the map, so if I walk in that direction, we will probably get assaulted. Which means we're not going to the store, but to be fair, the only thing there that I would have wanted was either a pair of boots or a cape. So we won't be doing that. Head towards the harbor, so that's over there. So let's just go towards the harbor and try not to have all the guards assault us on the way. There is a guard over there, but he's not looking at me, so I might be able to slip past. Obviously, we don't want to be talking to any of the NPCs now either, because we're trying to sneak out of the city.
After crossing the Central Plaza, turn right at the first corner.
Oh, thanks, Jude.
If Ifrit were here, I'd never have to be drenched like this.
You're still soaked? I mean, I guess we could find a towel or something. Or we could sit here and stare at the boy. Remember that one? You know Mr. Driller. Never played it, but you've seen it. Kind of like looked like the PS1 Bust-A-Move. Oh, there you go. I don't think I ever played Bust-A-Move, actually. Yeah, I enjoyed Mr. Driller. It was just kind of mindless fun, honestly. I always died like halfway down, but still, mindless fun. Now you're reminded of demo discs. Demo discs were a time that we will never get back.
Stop right there! Huh?
Unfortunately.
What's going on?
But I enjoyed my time with demo discs as well.
Doctor?
They were awesome, yeah.
Dr. Jude? From the medical school?
Small face guy!
Mr. Eldon? Is that you?
I didn't know you
What's
were a
going on
guard.
here?
I can't believe you are the one we're looking for. Jude Mathis, I have a warrant for your arrest. There's one for her, too.
Uh-huh.
I'm authorized to use force if necessary. But I don't want to hurt you.
Mila, I think we're going
Wait,
for another
just
swim.
Hold on a minute. We may have done a little breaking and entering, but that hardly makes us public enemy number 1.
Dude, why would you do that? You're supposed to tell that to the judge, not the policeman.
Mr. Eldon?
I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I have my orders.
Jude, I can't.
They literally aren't allowed to bend the law, Jude. They're only allowed to follow it. That's what a police officer does. It's right in the code. Oh, good. Mila, do you have fire absorbing gear? Oh, okay, never mind. Property damage! Now you guys can go to court too! Oh wait, you did that in the name of justice, so you don't get in trouble for it. Sounds like the ship's leaving. Maybe we should get on board.
This is goodbye, Jude. Forgive me for all of this.
You're gonna leave me here with the cops?
Move over carefully, Doc.
What is this, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? I don't think I got to that point where your friends betray you in it, but
I just wanted to...
I know it happens. Oh. Aha! My savior has arrived.
Well, aren't these military types brave? Protecting the world from pipsqueaks like you.
That's what I'm saying.
Who are you?
Save the
Just
chit-chat
meeting a
for
colorful
later.
cast of characters
Your
today, aren't we,
lovely lady's
Jude?
about to set sail, you know.
She is, but she can't swim, so I don't know how she's gonna catch up to the ship.
Listen close, kid. The military issued your warrant, and with the Military Powers Act invoked, you're an ex-marked criminal. If they catch you, you'll face execution.
Execution by
Execution?
goop gel pod thing. So maybe you should run.
Come on.
See what I mean, though? Like, everybody... Jude is just so tiny. Like, everybody can pick on him because he's just so tiny. How does anyone expect him to take anyone with them? Like, the spirits were asking for a lot. Ow.
What's going on here?
We're breaking and entering.
Military's
Boarding
doing
without
drills or
permission.
something on shore. You were just getting out of their way.
By jumping 60 feet across. Good lord, man.
Come
What track and
on.
field
Do
school did you
really
go
think a
to?
pipsqueak, a pretty girl, and a dashing man like me would be up to no good?
That would never happen.
It's Alvin.
Thanks for the
That's my
assist,
name.
Alvin.
You said that you're Jude, right?
Yes, sir. And this is Mila.
Hang in there, kid.
I mean, it is a lot to put on his shoulders, all things considered, but... I really like Alvin. He's probably one of my favorite characters in this game, and that helps because he's also one of the most consistently overpowered characters in this duology when it comes to gameplay. So, it kind of helps that when the story and the gameplay kind of intermesh and are both very good for you, you know? Yeah, Jude? Ixnay on the other bloke. Hey, yeah, there you go. Me, I'm the Balthier of this game. And you're Vaughn. You know, it kind of sucks that you're right about that, but you're right about that. It's unfortunate they couldn't get Gideon Emery to do Alvin's voice too, but, I mean, Matthew Mercer does a good job of it, I think, so I don't want to, you know, lower the standards there. Matthew Mercer's a great voice actor, but I don't know. I just like Gideon Emery, and I love Balthier's delivery in Final Fantasy XII. He's such a good actor. How did she get here? Magic, pretty much. That comparison is gold. He is their character. That's annoying, but he has his golden moments, right? Alvin and the chipmunk. Yeah, I don't think he has a pet. That would be maybe a little on the nose. Be kind of funny, though, all things considered.
That captain needs to lay off a bit. Is he planning to grow
As for a
entire
character that's
voyage?
annoying but has golden moments,
What do you
I can think of one
don't
that
have any sort of
is
identification.
subjectively like that, but we
Speak
haven't
for
met them yet,
yourselves.
so we'll see. Not for a little while yet, though. We got to get out of this area first.
I can't believe we're heading to Azul.
Is that where we're heading? And also, what is Azul?
Look, we're leaving Fenmont's Spirit Climb.
How do you know that? Is it a spoiler for me to ask how he knows that? I don't feel like it is.
You said you're a med student.
I guess we got
Didn't expect that.
a way of knowing because the climate changed, literally.
Hey, can I ask you something?
How did you know I was in the
Save
Sea
us.
Haven?
What's in it for you?
Well, cash, of course.
You were hired
How
by
does saving
someone?
us make you money?
Simple. I figure you must be in serious trouble if the military's after you. Now that I've swung to your rescue and impressed you with my daring do, I can charge you for my services.
You're gonna charge a
Charge us
medical
what?
student and a
I'm really
monastic
broke.
lifestyle
Same
person
goes for me, I'm
with
afraid.
services without
Seriously?
asking if they have
Take more
money
than just cash,
first?
you know. Don't you have any precious metals? Jewels? Rich relatives about to croak?
I do have that weird lump that I found in
me.
the place there
Everything
worth
happens
50
so fast.
points.
I
If that
doubt
makes
I
any
have anything that
difference.
would
I also have a
satisfy
bag
price
full of
either.
beast dung. Does that make a
What
difference?
exactly do you do, Alvin?
I need this
You
shit out of
look
my
like a
pockets,
soldier,
Alvin, literally.
but you sure don't act like one.
He looks like a soldier in that
You're on the right
outfit?
track,
Really?
kid. I'm a mercenary.
So can I
Better
class
than being
change you
soldier.
into a hero or a
We don't have to
ranger?
follow orders. We set our own hours.
Sorry, I've been playing a lot of
and we
Fire
help
Emblem
people
lately.
for a price.
Well, it would seem like you helped us for free.
He kind of
Ah,
did,
well,
didn't he?
It's a risk of the trade. Maybe I'll find some paying customers in Azul.
Maybe you should ask for money up front and you'll be better at your job. Or maybe you should come with us
Sure you
because
are.
we earn lots of money for murdering monsters on the road.
Are we there yet?
Your pronouns. There's gold in that there, dung. Are you playing or smashing? It's a question. Don't have an answer yet. Probably gonna have to develop Alvin's Lilium Orb now that I think about it once we get out of here, so. Smash or pass? Please no. Well, you've been smashing Fire Emblem. Oh, yeah, no, actually, okay, I didn't realize what the context of that was, yeah. So I'm actually been playing a Fire Emblem game. I smashed Fire Emblem Conquest,
It's hard to believe
but
we're
then
in a
I
whole
was
different
actually
country.
playing a different
Although it feels just like
Fire
home.
Emblem game that I don't want to
Well,
break
this
into
part of
pieces,
Azul
even
is
though
hardly what I'd call
it also
exotic.
has a creatable character that breaks the game over your knee, so, you know.
Huh.
Smashing, but in a different
There's a map.
sense,
Let me check it out for
in terms of gameplay instead of with a hammer. So, no, we don't go back to Fire Emblem. Yeah, because you don't like my opinion of Fates, but we don't have to worry about that anymore.
The way he plays it cool.
Decided to make the best of it, has he? He's not as immature as he looks.
What a
I mean, he
curious
kind of has to
little
mature
concern.
up a little bit. He's being
Drag
hunted
him into this,
for
right?
by the military
You
for
insisted on
crimes that will
helping
get him killed.
I told him again and again to go home, but he wouldn't listen.
Because you left him no way to get home. You literally left him no way to
He
get
believes
home
he got
after we
himself
got
in
out
this
of the
mess, so
sewers
now
either.
He has to put on a brave face. Either way, he's still acting like an adult.
North of here.
So, you leaving now?
No. Alvin, you must be well versed with a sword. Mercenaries like you must have some battle chops.
And we're looking
Yeah,
to hire
of
people
course.
because we have 4
Could you
party
teach me
member
how to use
slots and
one?
only 2 filled.
I don't have the 4 to back me up anymore. If I can't wield a sword, what's left?
I mean,
The
you can
4?
use Fireball.
I'm not sure I follow. But
It's
I'd be
a
more
little
than happy to teach you,
complicated.
if only you had some cash.
We will get cash on the road.
Here, how about we make some moolah while I train you?
How do you plan on
What do
doing
you
that
mean?
exactly?
Well, there's
Starting
got
up
to
a
be
ruckus?
some paying customers here in the Sea Haven, right? Let's take a look around.
Paying for what? Us to kill monsters for? Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's follow Alvin. That's a good idea. There's a sub-event, and it occurs when you speak with characters with an exclamation point above your head. Complete sub-events to receive golden items. They're side quests, basically. That's the gist of it. So, like, for example, this person in a fancy coat.
You've got a request, right? How about letting us handle it?
How could you possibly know that? Well, you see, you have a green exclamation point over your head. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
What kind of request?
Someone's got a problem with monsters, and we get paid to solve their problem.
I think most side quests in the game behave like this. They're like odd jobs that you just do over the course of the game anyway. So I kind of prefer that, honestly, because then it's not like you're having to make a whole bunch of different trips back and forth to tell the NPC you did the job. I think you get the reward without talking to them again, but I'm not 100% sure.
A lot of people depend on that lake for water, so those monsters have become a real nuisance.
Fun.
I'm looking for someone to exterminate the beasts.
All right, then.
What's the reward?
Cash, of course.
Got to say, that is the usual and most effective way, yes.
Sounds fine.
Kill the monsters so the NPCs give us money.
Monsters will be good training.
Fair enough.
Excellent.
You love Alvin.
Now
Like I
these
said,
beasts
he's
are
one of my
no
favorite
pushovers,
characters in the
so
game,
please watch
honestly, from my
yourselves.
memory. So we'll see how he lives up to it. But again, I like him in the gameplay. I like him in the story.
Stand there like training dummies, you know?
I mean, they've been doing that pretty much so
We
far.
should go over some basics first.
We already did all the tutorials for the combat system, Alvin, but I guess you can give us more if you want to. Mock battle? Do you have a blunt sword? I guess Mila is getting the basics here, whereas Jude,
that'll do.
You know, already kind of knows. So. I wonder if you play that fight in the Mila route. I've never done the Mila route beyond like the first hour or so I don't remember.
Shall we go?
Wait, Jude. Take a moment to consider your situation.
Like, is it literally like Symphony of the Night on the Mila route where you're just smashing your face against the controller for the first hour and then she gets depowered and you have to learn the basics from there? It'd be kind of interesting, actually.
Just that he still has some time to think things over.
Sorry, I'll make up my mind by the time you set off.
Okay, very well. Let's go and complete that request.
So we're gonna do that and then come back and then figure out if Jude wants to stop?
Doing the right thing. Now you're on the run. That's a pretty tough lesson for a kid your age.
Yeah.
But I brought it upon myself.
He's not struggling with this at all. They're gonna use this as a character trait for him, aren't they? The Calamity Key.
This was surging with mana when they activated their so-called Lance of Kresnik. So this must be the key they used to arm it. Do you want something?
Whoa, hold your fire. I come in peace. Can't a mercenary have a friendly chat with his clients?
Not when it comes to the Lance of Kresnik.
But when you want to chat, you needn't hold your breath and sneak up behind me.
Sheesh. You make me sound so unsavory. Do you berate poor Jude like this too?
I don't intend to berate anyone. That was never my intention.
But she's very blunt.
Boys can be so vulnerable.
That's a surprisingly tender sentiment.
That's what it says on my business card. The mercenary with a heart of gold.
Those are good words to live by. Although, with a motto like that, I can't imagine you'd live very long.
Or get very many paying customers.
Not the type to sugarcoat things, are you?
No, definitely not. I have a question. She has the key to a Spyrix super weapon in her back pocket. Why don't we just throw it in the ocean? Like, they're never gonna find it. They'll know that we've been here, but they'll suspect, oh, she has the key to a Spyrix super weapon. They have to have taken it with them. It's too valuable to just throw in the ocean. And then it'll sink to the bottom, and they'll never find it again. And then they'll have to construct a new one, which will buy us precious time. Huh? Yeah, the same reason you don't ditch the Mars star. It's a plot point, I know. And we need it to free the spirits. Yeah, I suppose that's also fair. I just feel like, okay, well, they can't use the weapon if they don't have the key. We'll get the spirits out somehow. I think Mila mentioned it in one of the skits, maybe? But I think she mentioned, oh, well, maybe if I go back to Nia Kara, we can get the spirits back. They're stuck in the weapon. She's not going to get them back when we get there. But that's the current thought process, so... Wasn't Mila the one who could either cast magic or use spells like normal arts? Yes. Yeah, so she can shortcast, quote-unquote, her actual magic, like Fireball, Windblade, Rock Trine, Splash, all that, and turn them into combat arts if she uses them in an actual fight. I think if I remember it, you hold down the button to have her cast, and you just tap it in order for her to use it like a combat art. So, yeah, Alvin slides into her DMs. No, it'd be cool. Alvin is the future of Jude through time bullshit. Time bullshit is Tales of Xillia 2's thing, so no time bullshit in this game, unfortunately. Living through the adventure again. Well, Mono, it's a key item. You can't drop those. Damn it! I hate when mechanics from all games come back to bite me. Buys more time for them to follow us instead of just make a new one. I mean, I guess, but would they know that we threw it in the ocean? There's no soldiers around here, as far as I know. I mean, if there was, they'd be chasing me, so, you know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not a point that we need to worry about. Shop expansion has been unlocked. This is the system with the points, right? Can give materials and gold to shops to increase the selection available in the shop stock. Can do this by selecting expand from a shop menu. As you expand shops, you accumulate points, and when those hit a certain level, your shop level rises and new stock is added. Additionally, raising your shop level lowers the prices of items sold at the shop. You can gain the points needed to raise your shop level by donating materials to the shop, donating gold to the shop, buying items at the shop. When donating materials, you may find that some material types are set as bonus materials and provide more points than usual. Note that bonus materials change as you get into combat and as time passes. Now, my question then is that shared amongst all of the shops? I gotta imagine it is, and actually looking at this here, it looks like it would be shared among all of the shops, because it's like, here's all item shops, all weapon shops, all armor, accessory, and food vendors. So I gotta imagine that's just all shops, you know what I mean? But as you can see, there are bonuses for different ones. So right now, any minerals provide a 2 times bonus to the experience you give to the shop. Plant materials provided for the weapon shops, insect materials for armor shops, beast materials for the accessories, and then bird materials for the food vendors. So we can probably unlock some halfway decent stuff by doing that. I could buy a cape. Coming soon. I think this is the stuff that's available if you increase the shop's stock, if I remember correctly. Heal Bangle's not too bad. Stun Bracelet's probably okay as well. Poison Ward wouldn't be too bad. Better capes, better boots. I can't even afford the regular boots right now, so I don't know about that. Resistance, Guardian Magic, and Warrior Emblems. Yeah, I don't know about that either. Well, let's do some expansion, shall we, on the shops. Donate materials. I usually don't donate gold. Usually don't have a lot of gold, so, like, it's hard for me to donate that, you know. All right, so we'll fill this one out with the iron sand that we have, so let's just donate it. And that'll level up the item shop. Now we have new item discounts for apple gel, orange gel, and life bottles. It'll tell you, basically, here are new items available, and then here are items that are available at a discount. I think the discount is, like, pretty small. It's like maybe a couple of % for each level you get. I forget exactly, but there you go. But witnesses. Trash the key. I don't know. Don't drop the key. Literally every JRPG ever. Yeah. I mean, I suppose that people would witness us dropping it in the ocean, but we could, like, wait till nightfall and do that. I don't know. It's too complicated, I guess, to figure out how we would do that, to not just be like, but it's an RPG, so go out into the wilderness and kill monsters. Don't worry about it, you know. So let's not worry about it. It's fine. Wood chunks. Okay. I'm just going to get the shop to the next level, and then we'll go from there. We have steel gauntlets available at weapon shops, so that's cool. What do we got for spider web materials here? Actual spider webs. Okay, I'll donate those, sure. I'll just donate what I have, or the next level, depending on which one comes first. This is, I have so much beast dung. Oh, I only have 7. I thought I had more than that, but apparently it's worth a bit for the accessory shops right now, so that's cool. And then food vendors, materials, bird parts are here. Beautiful feathers. Ooh, these are worth a decent chunk, aren't they? And the food vendor now sells medium sandwiches and medium pudding cakes. And also a discount on a bunch of other stuff that I just glossed over because I didn't realize there was going to be another menu. That's cool. Anyway, probably not going to buy any accessories. We could buy weapons now. We got steel gauntlets, rapier, which are already equipped, and a broadsword, which is also already equipped. I have the money for the steel gauntlets, so let's buy them, because why not? And equip them. And we got some extra expansion points for the weapon shop from buying items, like they said. So, I don't think it sells your weapons automatically, though, in this one. Like, they don't ask you for it. And that's kind of better in some cases, because some weapons later on in the game have elemental properties, and elemental properties in this game are really strong. Like, they do lots of extra damage to enemies, so you sometimes just want to keep them, honestly. Not in this case, though. The steel gauntlets are just a straight upgrade, so just do that. And then go from there. Alright, armor shop over here. What do we got? Leather guard, already got that. A trench coat, apparently Mila's already got a trench coat on. You'll forgive me, Mila, I don't think you have a trench coat on. Again, you're dressed in mostly oven mitts and short skirts. Hard mail, leather helm, knit cap. I don't know, I kind of feel like leaving Jude with the knit cap, because I feel like it might be better just to give him a little extra art defense. Iron circlet, ribbon. Ribbon is lower, so I guess we're not getting anything out of that right now. I don't know, I guess it's kind of neat the way that they do shops in this game, where you can donate to them to upgrade them, but it just feels like a lot of work to me. I don't know, maybe I'm just fussy about my shops, and I just feel like, no, I feel like if my shops were just like, you know, shops, just like, okay, well, here's the stock. I don't know. I feel like I'd feel better about it, and like you unlock more stock later. Okay, so it's like a 10% discount for that discount there. That's not bad, actually. Excuse me. Panacea bottles, holy and dark bottles, melange gels, syrup bottles. Don't need any of that yet. Not going to worry about it. We could go to the inn. Do I need to go to the inn? No, we got a full heal, so I don't need to go to the inn. Was there a save point in the inn, though? Yes, there is, although there's also a save point right here. So, since that's the case, let's just head over here, and then we'll head to the Eladi Trail for a little bit. Why are the new gauntlets so much better on the physical side? I guess Jude didn't want to hurt people before because he was a doctor. Now he puts on the new gauntlets, and it's like that meme where the guy takes a gun out, and he's like, I'm a healer, but... something like that, maybe. Okay, more tutorials from Alvin, if I remember correctly. Ah, good. A practical test for Mila's new abilities.
My Lilium orb is
Yes,
shining.
he's a pharmacist now, rather than a pharmacist.
Wait,
Good one.
You have orbs too? Great! We should try linked combat.
What's that?
What do you mean?
Lilium orbs are handy things. They let you sense your companion's intent. That's
Oh,
a
well
huge
that's
advantage
awfully
in battle.
convenient.
You can coordinate your thoughts to pull off combination attacks. We call this linking.
Sounds great, but how do we do it?
Try it and see for yourself. Focus your consciousness into the Lilium orb.
Is this going to be like devil summoning or something? Because I don't know if we need that in this game. No, it's another combat mechanic. We'll get a tutorial for it, I'm sure. Yep, there it is.
Alright, try linking up.
So, you can link up to any of your comrades by pressing their direction in the party order on the D-pad.
So this is
Like that. And then you can swap around depending on who you want to link up with at any point in time. You'll also notice that a bar has appeared on the left side of the screen. That is your over limit bar. They've changed over limits from Vesperia. They're no longer as broken as they were because you have to build the bar up. It's a little harder to build up in this one. I'll demonstrate it in a minute. But yeah, if you press the direction of the character that you're playing as, so Jude, will break the link. Now, as for the rest of this, we can approach the enemy and surround them. It will cause your partner to move behind them, and that will flank the enemy. If you hit them from behind, you get higher chance of critical hits, higher chance of raising your AC. Now we can beat this guy up. You'll notice that Mila just bound the guy. If an enemy approaches from behind, your partner will respond to that approach by protecting you from back attacks and reducing the likelihood you'll take critical hits. However, there is a big however to this. When your partners are linked up and they do this partner AI behavior, it kind of causes their AI to ignore the other strengths of the character themselves. So, like, Mila will ignore casting spells in favor of running behind the enemy, at the expense of all else, including keeping herself alive in order to flank the enemy and help you with tandem attacks, like the ones that we were doing where she bound them and then I attacked them. And honestly, I don't like it as a gimmick. You can turn it off in the strategy menu, but I can't help but feel like you lose out on a big part of the battle system when you don't have the tandem attacks. I just prefer not using them, to be honest, so I'll probably be turning that off in a moment once they give me a chance. So, as for Mila's ability, when she's your partner, she will restrain enemies when she's able to get behind them. And she will apparently she binds enemies when they're speed types or stunned, so we'll try to stun them.
You're ready to learn some linked arts.
As for the rest, if we fill the gauge up, yeah, so that was a tandem attack that we just did there. See how we slid there? And then, if you activate the gauge by pressing R2 after using an art, like in this case, Demon Fist, if you have an art combination with the character you're paired with, so in this case, Mila has Windblade, you'll get a little icon on your character. And when that icon shows up, you can press the R2 button to do a linked art, like Final Gale, which we just did. It deals extra damage, and it allows you to keep building the bar. You're not allowed to build the over limit bar above the certain sections of it until you use a linked art. So, basically, fill the bar by attacking an enemy. Use an art that allows your character, whoever they're partnered with, to use a linked art. Use the linked art, and then keep building it up until you get to the top of it. So, and yeah, that's the gist of what they're telling us here. So, I was gonna say, how much HP do you have here, dude? But yeah, only once you use a linked art. You can't move to the next one until you use a linked art. So you see how the bar went ahead and did that now. So I'm wondering why Cerberus Strike isn't working. It's because I haven't set it yet. That's why. I'll do that in a minute. Let's get through this battle first.
Victory born from cooperation and friendship. Not bad, right?
Yes, I quite like it.
I feel much better knowing I'm not fighting alone.
Right there with you, buddy.
Uh-huh. I mean, you guys weren't fighting alone to begin with either, but because you're in a party, but you know. Devil summoning, I wish. I mean, this looks cool. Again, the tandem attacks look cool. It's just they're suboptimal, you know what I mean? And it sucks that they're suboptimal because I feel like they do look cool to use, but they're often not as good as just attacking normally, you know? So, like, it messes you up in boss fights in this game because you'll be doing a tandem attack, and the tandem attacks are slower than normal attacks. So if the enemy in a boss fight breaks out of your combo, which bosses have a very big tendency to do in this game, you just get cucked, and it's like, okay. I don't know. I know, it probably is starting to sound like I'm going to optimize the fun out of it, but it just isn't really fun for me. So, before we hit up that save point, let me actually develop Alvin's Lilium Orb, because I forgot to do that a minute ago. So let's do that now while we're here. Press select to use auto level. Take you along suggested routes, activating nodes along the way. It's a useful function if you have a lot of GP, but once spent, that GP cannot be reassigned. If there are specific arts or skills you want, take care when using this feature. Worthwhile to note, because I can build him in a specific way if I so choose, but I don't know. I'll probably just do, like, all of the inner stuff first, like all of these first two sections, then build the entire web on the outer web after that. Like, I won't branch all the way out probably until I've done everything below it. I don't know if that's considered suboptimal either, but either way. Okay, that'll get him two things, momentary gain and level restore, so that's nice. What are the things around this one? Solid guard, that's not bad. TP combo support. Arts will consume 20% less TP for every combo over 4 hits and 40% less for every combo over 8 hits. That gets better the further in the game you go. TP gain is nice, HP gain is nice, Guardian Field. Now, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. These abilities that we're getting in here, they have an SP cost. They're not equipped automatically once you get these. You actually have to equip these from a skills menu, so I got to go do that in a minute. But we'll do that in a minute. Guardian Field, Flash Guard. I think I'll start up here, and we'll go around and get Guardian Field and Flash Guard and all that stuff. So, but yeah, Alvin's a little bit better than Jude and Mila for right now, so we'll have to work on that. Either way, here's the skills menu. And we have some SP, so we can set up the skills that we have learned. Stronger skills require more SP. And if they have a little icon next to them, the little shake hands icon, it affects link partners. So if they're linked up with somebody, they get the effect of that skill. So, which in this case seems a little weird because I feel like Alvin, his skill here, stamina, gives him extra HP. It means that the people that are linked with him also have extra HP, but what if they're low on HP and they unlink from him? Do they just die, or like how does that work? I feel like that wouldn't be so good, honestly. Anyway, we can equip all of his skills for right now, so let's just equip those and equip these on Mila since she's got them. I guess I've got Magic Guard on Jude, so we'll equip that. I gotta get level restore for him at some point here, but we'll work on that later. Is that everything? Oh yeah, I wanted to use the strategy menu so I can tell them to do certain things, so. To give them specific combat instructions so that they're not doing stupid shit in the background while I'm doing all the hard work. Let's see. Probably reduce no, because then they'll focus on different enemies depending on their HP, so maybe just focus attacks, honestly, would probably be the best way of doing it. Action, up to you, mainly arts, prioritize healing, only heal, protect yourself. I don't know, I guess up to you is fine for now, because the rest of them are kind of like, you know, HP levels. Keep your distance when HP drops below 25%. I feel like if you go below 50%, I'd want you to leave, honestly. So let's do that. Save some TP, store TP, conserve TP, don't use TP. I guess store it would be fine for now. Link. No, link often. I definitely want you to link during normal battles. And link with characters set to auto. Frequently link with others. You know what, let's just link in normal battles, because why not? I feel like that would probably be for the best, because then I can set it so that they do something else in other battles. Or, well, I guess in boss battles I'd have to do it manually, wouldn't I? Anyway, let me see what's in here. Link tactics. Up to you, mainly arts, prioritize healing, support the rear. Cover the rear when someone links with you. Yeah, I guess that's the problem, isn't it? Because I thought there was, and this might be an exclusive thing to the second game, where basically you can, in the link tactics, you can tell them don't use link tactics, basically, so they don't, like, go behind enemies and do all that stuff. But maybe if we just leave it at link in normal battles, that'll be helpful, because then in boss battles, when it actually matters that I'm being tactical, they won't, like, do dumb shit, you know? So. It's probably a modifier to max HP, so unlinking probably won't kill. Yeah, that's probably a good point. Yeah, it probably won't kill if you unlink. I just thought it'd be funny if it's just like, as it happens, so. Alright, Lifeblood and Marie are heading out. They are going to be going to sleep. Have a good sleep. Take it easy. We will see you. I don't know. I kind of don't want to link, honestly. You need it in order to do over-limit stuff, but at the same time... I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I got to figure that out. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. For right now, all we need to worry about is the fact that we're on the Eladi Trail, and we're going to go up to it probably to the next save point or two, and then we'll call it a day. So... No, seriously, why did I get an email from... email, not why did I get an email, but an email notification. I thought I turned those off. Gonna have to fix that later.
This one is mine.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I don't have the art equipped on Jude, so let's put the art on Jude. So Cerberus Strike is our next one. It is a punching attack. So we're gonna. I've used Demon Fist 74 times already. Holy shit. We're gonna put that on left and right because I feel like I could probably use that for good effect. Fireball, Wind Lance, Demon Fang, Tiger Blade. Okay, got it. I will keep that in mind. Usually you're gonna want to use the whatchamacallit, the Link Dart if it's available. So in this case, Final Gale is pretty much, you know, what they have available. So.
Ouch, the cold shoulder.
You're surprising me after a battle, Alvin. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, so Final Gale is kind of the one that's easily accessible for Jude and Mila. We'll probably be using it quite a lot for a little while. It'll fall off eventually, but... Anyway, Alvin's partner skill is Breaker. If a foe is guarding, he will break their guard. It also stuns them, so that's kind of nice, actually. And yeah, if you're fighting enemies that guard frequently. They tried to do this thing with this game where certain enemies have certain styles, like larger enemies are more guard-type enemies, so they'll like block often, so then it gives you an excuse to switch partners, but I don't know, it feels like too much work for me. Again, there's a lot about Xillia where I'm like, no, that feels like too much work, you know? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out later.
Nice job, Alvin.
Nice one.
I doubled up. Right, I got long. I gotta remember I've got the long thing. When the bar is yellow like that, it means you have entered into Overlimit. In Overlimit, you can link up with different partners and use different effects depending on the button that you press. So, yeah, in that case, if I had linked back up with Mila during the Overlimit, I could have used Final Gale back-to-back with using Demonic Chaos, which is the Demon Fist equivalent with Alvin there. So, maybe I'll switch that off of long, actually, because I don't want to, like, double up on my Cerberus strikes just because I entered 2 inputs by accident. So, we'll go back to normal. And, you know what? I also didn't change the strategy, did I? Change formation. Where do I want you folks? I don't know, I kind of feel like it'd be better if we were, like, walking up on the enemy. Stick you here because you're party member number 3. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. We'll see how that works. Might be a lot of running, but, you know, we'll see. So I like to call a lot of the in-between town areas in Xillia adventure fields, because that's kind of what they remind me of, if I'm honest. They're very, like, sprawling, and there's just a lot of enemies around. So. Ow. This guy's going to cast, I think, so okay, now get rid of that guy. Good. Start building Cerberus Strike up a little bit, because why not?
Is this really the only way?
Might as well, you know. Alright, Mila leveled up, so as you can see with level restore, she's completely restored her HP and her TP. Again, really powerful skill that you should have all the time. You will never need to really worry about going back to town and healing if you have it, so. Because the game gives you enough experience, in most cases, where you'll go between towns and you'll just get enough experience to level up and not have to worry about, like, walking back the vast majority of the time, so. It's helpful. That's why I want to get it for Jude, if possible.
You know, I think there used to be a town around here. Want to take a peek?
But we haven't completed our job yet.
Come on, school's out. Your homework doesn't have a due date anymore.
I do have a thesis statement that I still need to do, though.
Is that the way it works?
That's the way it works. The whole reason you took the request was to pay my fee, right? If you see another opportunity to make a few bucks, feel free to make that the priority.
I had been planning to get you paid in Nia Khera.
That's so? Well, you're the client. At the end of the day, it's your call.
So he's saying I can go this way, but I probably shouldn't. Yeah, so I think there's a town up that way, but we're supposed to go through to the western lake of Alati Trail, so there you go. Yes, inn-owners hate level restore. They would never want you to use it because it means that you don't need to be at an inn ever again. Also, even if you wanted to go to the next town, there's a blockade here, as you can see, once I get my head out of the rocks here. So.
Let's see.
What are you up to?
Just trying to organize all of my notes for my thesis.
Those in the books at a time like this? You sure are studious.
Yeah, probably a waste of time. I'm sure I've already been expelled being an X-marked criminal and all.
Can't help but feel like Alvin was exaggerating a little bit.
I'll testify to the military and the school on your behalf.
I don't think that's going to be
You're
necessary.
just a poor kid who got sucked into this.
Thanks.
Because that would throw you guys under the bus, so...
Ah, that. I guess I did flee along with you.
Yeah,
So if we
that's
get
the problem,
captured,
isn't
I'll
it?
testify for you. I'll tell them that you're nowhere near as shady as you look.
Oh my god.
I'll take it as a compliment.
I'm sure you will, especially since we're paying you. I hope. Okay. Yeah, so they feign you out and make it seem like, yeah, okay, you can go whichever way you want, even with the skit. And then there's just a tree in the way, so we're not going that way. We'll go the other way first. I'll be a good boy and go in the direction the game wants me to go. Hey, there's more weird fragments. So those were fun. You know, actually, I should probably top myself off before I do that. There we go. I'll wait for him to move and then... Snap pivot! Gotta get rid of that. Go help Alvin out.
Was this really the only way?
And unfortunately, Jude just got to level up before I can give him level restore, so that's a little unhelpful, but he might be able to buy it now, so... He is Malibu's most wanted just for breaking and entering. Yeah, they sure came down hard on Jude with the law, didn't they? So... Alright, so I'm going to get level restore so that way we just have it, and then after this I'll probably slow down on using the Lilium Orb so much, because now that we have that, I really don't... Like, nothing else matters as much as level restore matters, so... At least not in my opinion. Momentary gain is pretty nice too, though, so... Mila got 3, so I guess I might as well use that too. We got Magic Guard, Rock Trine, and Stamina. Okay. Magic Guard a go-go. And then we'll get Rock Trine out of it, too. There it is. And Alvin is still where Alvin was. Alright. Back to skills. Unfortunate that we couldn't get this on there before the level up, but that's okay. We'll make use of it anyway. Gonna need to get some more SP, though, in order to keep going. But now that I have that, I can basically just have Jude use Healer. Top us off, and then not worry about it for a while. Even though I'm at low TP, I will gain it back as we go. So I think these guys are a little easier to sneak up behind because they're big like this, so they move slowly.
Follow me.
Actually, I'd like to follow myself for a second, so that I don't have to, like... Okay, I knocked him over. Good. Good, maybe. Oh, linked up with me.
You owe me.
Thanks, Mila. She will also now have access to Grave, now that she has Rock Trine, because she can morph the art into Grave when she uses it as a combat art. I should probably just, like, play as Mila and Alvin a little bit just to kind of demonstrate what they do, since we have about a half an hour left here. So maybe I'll do that just because we're just kind of putzing around anyway, so... So they really want to heavily encourage you to link up, because as you can see here, if you use an art as a part of a combo, your link partner's TP sort of helps to offset the cost. It basically, they use a little bit of their TP to help you so that you don't use as much TP yourself. So there you go. And if you use a normal attack after an art, they'll get some TP back as a result of that. So they want to encourage you to basically get into the flow of use normal attacks followed by an art, then normal attacks followed by an art, and it'll make it so that you keep TP in your bodies a little bit better.
You're starting to look pretty good with that blade.
I do seem to possess an aptitude for sword fighting.
Just needed a little muscle memory for it, that's all, Mila. Even though you wouldn't have muscle memory for it, considering the 4 guided your hand before this. So, let me see here. Trying to think if I want to swap up a little bit here. We can also set the leader out in the field, and I think that changes the character that is out in the field as well. Yeah, it does. Okay, so if you want to, you know, play as Mila, or you want to play as Alvin, or play as Jude, you can swap that up. I guess I'll try playing as Mila, since I'm mentioning that I'm going to do all this stuff. I am really bad with Mila. It's like a problem, actually, how bad I am with Mila. So we'll see if I can use her. She uses a lot of air combos, and I've never been a big fan of aerial combat in Tales games. I just feel so out of control when I'm in the air in Tales games. I don't know why, but it's probably one of the reasons why I won't be using her very often, is just because I just don't feel comfortable with air combat in games like this. It's just something that I just feel like I prefer having my feet on the ground, I guess. But I'll try it. I mean, it can't hurt, right? So.
I'll help you if you fall.
Okay. I definitely don't want to use Flare Bomb anywhere outside of like a, you know, a combo ender. Oh, Jude took the... Definitely don't want to use that on the ground immediately, though, because it has a bit of a startup time to it, so I'll have to keep that in mind as well. Also dying, you know, that's probably part of the fact that I'm playing as a character I'm not comfortable with, but, you know, it's there. We'll be able to heal it, like, now, if I have Jude use healer on me. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Alright, off we go. Go take care of this guy since they like casting. Oop, I let go of free run. It's on the ground. Okay, Grave has a wake-up effect, though, so I'll have to keep that in mind. I can use it after Flare Bomb. Like that. Cool. I'm going to learn a few things, I think, while we're playing through this, because I'll try to play as more characters than I normally play as.
Okay.
So.
Let us move onward.
In case it wasn't obvious, the first time I played this, I mostly played just as Jude, because that was the character they gave me, so I said, might as well get really good with him, rather than trying anything else. Wasn't exactly the best plan, if I'm honest, especially with the way that they structured character progression in Tales of Xillia 2. You don't have to play as other characters in either of the games. You could just play as the character the story starts with, and you'd probably get pretty good with them, but you have a little bit more incentive in Xillia 2 to use other characters, so I'll try to acknowledge that and use other characters while I'm at it. Hope I don't have to keep doing this every battle.
Okay.
Alvin's gonna get the short end of the stick if I have to keep doing this every battle. Okay. I should probably also be guarding a little bit, honestly. Wonder if I can, like, knock this guy up in the air with the combo thing. Do that, and then... Okay, yeah. So that's one of the things that Mila is capable of doing with her combat, basically, is she can... when she goes up in the air, like this, certain combos can be used in midair. For example, Grave can be used in midair to bring you back to the ground. So, it's not bad in that regard. It takes some getting used to, but again, I suppose if you played the whole game as Mila, you'd probably get used to it pretty quickly. I don't know. I have this thing, I think it's because I played Symphonia first, where I just feel like if I have one character out in front taking all the hate and doing all the melee combat, and I have 3 other characters just spamming spells out on the rest of the area, I don't know, that just makes me feel a little bit better, honestly, about my chances. Do you guys have a... You do have an arc here. Cool. Well, that'll help.
Well done, Alvin.
All in the line of duty.
Naturally. Or I'll have you fired.
Whoa, hey now.
Let's not talk crazy or something.
Just keeps getting better.
Alright, so Alvin leveled up. He got his HP and everything back. Again, level restore is really good. Buy it every time. It's so worth it. So much cost of running back to the inn saved by doing that. It's great. Alright, so now that we're done with that, let's swap Mila back here, and we'll put Alvin in the lead, and we'll play as him for a little bit. I never get to play as Alvin in this game, because Cole loves playing as Alvin, and the first time we played this game, we always played it together, so Cole never really gave me the option of playing as Alvin, so we're gonna try it. I don't know that I'll be any good at it. I also probably should have set my arts before I started the battle, but, you know, actually they're in the right spots because Demon Fang goes here and Tiger Blade goes here. His arts are very similar, at least to start with a lot of older classic Tales characters, so he'll probably be pretty easy to get used to if that's what you're used to. But, other than that, I got nothing. Let's figure it out. He's slow, but I'm not really worried about slow, honestly. That doesn't bother me very much.
I'll help you if you fall.
Watch a pro in action.
Attack! Alvin, now's our chance.
Let us move onward.
Alright, so that's the basics. Ah, this is what I was looking for. I wasn't sure how to do this part. So Alvin's gimmick is that he has a sword and a gun. And he can combine the two of them by using charge. So if you hold R1 after he performs an art, he will charge up his gun, and it will fuse the gun into the sword, because gun blades were all the rage at this point in time in RPGs, and his art will change to a different art. So Demon Fang will turn into Fierce Demon Fang, Tiger Blade will turn into Tiger Rage, that sort of a thing. It actually makes Alvin kind of interesting to play, honestly, because you're constantly playing this sort of game between, like, oh, I have to charge up my arts, or I have to fight and, you know, try to fight something else instead of charging up the art. You have to play this sort of battle where it's like, okay, he's slow, but he's also quick. It's just too bad that he's the one that breaks the guard on all the enemies, because if he wasn't, you could use a lot of that a lot more often, because, you know, it would probably work a little better. I suppose if you have friends helping you out, though, that would probably help out. Mila, get out of my way. So yeah, see how he charged and he has it pulsed like that? So what that'll do, basically, is once it pulses, you have one charge of a stronger art. So now he can use, again, Fierce Demon Fang or Tiger Rage at this point, and then eventually he'll get more depending on what you do. I imagine the lake is down there, so let's just kind of wander around and find stuff to kill, so I get more used to using Alvin and more used to using everybody else, so...
Demon Fang!
That's not a thing yet. I gotta be careful, though, that I don't get too many status effects on me from spells. Spells in this game, generally speaking, have status effects attached to them. And some status effects can be really nasty, so...
Tiger Blade! Ready when you are. Who's next?
Can I charge off of that? No. Okay. I'm pressing the charge button, but not the... I'm not holding R1. I'm not used to it being R1, basically.
And finished.
I'm used to it being square. I think that's Devil May Cry 5 coming in there a little bit.
So this is experience.
Like, because in Devil May Cry 5, I definitely did a lot of the charge-up moves, so... Oh, good, more Beast Dung. Just what I wanted. Just what I didn't need. Maybe since I've got Jude off of the thing, I should have him prioritize healing? Because he's got the healing skills? Maybe have Mila do mainly arts, and then... I mean, if you're going to taunt Alvin, I suppose you could protect yourself and then taunt to block the damage. Or taunt and then block the damage by blocking, so... This is a strong enemy. I probably should have waited, honestly, before doing anything.
Tiger Blade! Tiger Blade!
Can I charge this up? Yep. Okay. Okay. Don't want that, though.
Tiger Blade!
So yeah, see how it turns into Tiger Rage from doing that? I think you can charge off of charged skills as well, if I remember correctly. Okay, that wasn't a momentary game moment. I'm trying to momentary game, but I'm not used to doing it with other characters besides, whatchamacallit, besides Jude.
Well done, Alvin.
All in the line of duty.
Naturally. Or I'll have you fired.
Whoa,
Yeah, we've heard this
that
one
wasn't
already.
too bad.
They do repeat lines a little bit, don't they? It's okay. I better watch, though, because if I'm not careful with my HP bar, one of these times the enemies are just going to viciously murder me, and that's not going to be so good. Saffron, extra agility. Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to use these items on just yet. I'm not really sure about that, honestly. Hey, Jude, I know you're at full HP, but how about you help a brother out, huh? I probably shouldn't have done that. Wait for it? Okay, I can't charge off of it. I thought I could charge off of it and then use a link dart, but I don't have enough. I think there's a skill later that you can get that allows you to do that, where you have extra time to fire off a link dart, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so I'll have to see you later. Alright, so... I don't really have much color commentary for this part, though. It's mostly... That's the thing about some parts of Tales of Xillia, is that it's kind of... There's a lot of running around in the same places, you know? So...
Not yet.
Alvin, now's our chance.
Oh yeah, I'm not dead.
Now's our chance.
I didn't press it in time. I was gonna charge and then I realized, oh yeah, my bar's full.
Ready when you
So,
are. Not bad.
this was the reason, actually. I was thinking about it. I looked before because I deleted my save files from this game in the past, right before I started the stream today, and I was like, I wonder why I kept these. I think the reason why I might have kept them is because then I could have... If you keep your save files and you go into... Basically, you have an old save file. You can go into a quote-unquote New Game Plus and basically, like, take your... not your skills, but you can transfer using some of the grade points that you get from doing random things in this game. You can transfer some things over from the old file, or give yourself extra bonuses. Like, for example, you could increase your experience gain so you don't have to fight as many enemies, or you could increase your gold gain so you, again, don't have to fight as many enemies. A lot of them are just for convenience purposes. But maybe that was why I kept the files, and maybe that was why I should have kept them, so we wouldn't have to... I don't know if you have to fight every enemy along the way in these places, but... It definitely, I think that the 60 hours is mostly padded out by this is because you're fighting all these enemies. So. I'm definitely going to go back to playing as Jude, though, because if I'm playing as him, I can just, like, use the healer myself instead of waiting for everybody else to use it, you know? So. Okay, that wasn't a very gain. Mila, get out of my way.
Take this. Watch a pro in action.
Now, as I say, I should be able to, do a Demonic Chaos immediately. But...
Let's do this. Okay. Demonic Chaos.
Who's next?
Nice job, Alvin.
Demon Face.
I didn't. Still not used to that. Gonna get used to it later because I'm not playing Devil May Cry 5 right now, but still not used to the whole hold R1 to charge thing. I'm sorry, I probably look really dumb. Because I'm like, oh, I'm holding down a button, but it's not the right button, so I'm not charging. I'll get it. I'm sure I will get it. It's fine. It just might take a bit, that's all. I think I'm going to go back to Jude in a second, though, so I don't have to keep doing, well, this. So.
Okay.
Mila, you missed the thing. Okay, that's fine. I'm like paying too much attention to her. That wasn't, But keep using Demon Fang anyway. Okay, so if you let go at all, you can't charge. Got it.
Okay.
Tiger Rage!
And that's a wrap.
Okay. I'm a little rusty in case that wasn't immediately clear by all of the rust on the screen. So we keep getting apple gels, so I might use a few of them, honestly, just to make things a little easier. Like that, and orange gels. Because if we hit the limit of items there, it doesn't really make sense that we wouldn't just, like, use them, you know? So, I'll keep that in mind. There are a lot of enemies over there. I guess it'll give us something to do in a second, once we get there. Some fetas. I don't know, I think I'm just more used to Jude, honestly, in terms of fighting. It feels more natural to me, probably because of the fact that I, like, played the whole game as him at one point, so. That's not Demon Fist. That's Demon Fist.
This is the power of Maxwell.
But yeah, see, we're getting apple gels and everything from fights anyway, so. That might be happening, though, because this is early in the game. Like, that might fall off once we get out of the quote-unquote, like, tutorial areas. So, we shall see. 5 jet black feathers there, that's not too bad. That's not the guy that I'm targeting, so the snap pivot doesn't count. Okay, well, at least I dodged that guy. But yeah, it's just nice to have Alvin as a partner, which, again, is kind of unfortunate because his break that he uses on the enemies is really strong and it stuns them. So you don't end up playing as him as much as you might want to, because Breaker is just probably one of the best support skills in the game, if not the best. Like, Bind is okay, and Jude helps if you get knocked over, but you can, like, Ukemi out of getting knocked over, so. Excuse me, it doesn't end up being as useful as it could be. Breaker's just really good. Basically, you want to be paired up with Alvin. It doesn't really matter who you are or where you're from. You want to be paired up with Alvin. He does good stuff when he does that. So, I'm gonna get. Why am I guarding?
No brakes. No brakes. No brakes.
No, of course no brakes. Why would we take breaks? We just took a break. I just gave you a healer.
No break, here we go.
I still don't have the wake up effect of that, so I shouldn't use that yet.
Yeah.
Ouch, the cold shoulder. No brakes?
Next up, Mila, walk through the healer, please. Of course, it doesn't help if I knock them out of the rock trine by doing that, but you know.
Nice one.
I'm gonna say get on top of him a little bit, or a little closer anyway, so that way he gets hit by the blades, because if you get hits with the weapons when you do Demonic Chaos, it deals a little extra damage as well, so. And I think that takes care of, okay, there's one more enemy before the enemies that we're actually looking for, but it takes care of almost all the enemies anyway.
Nice job, Alvin.
No breaks?
I gotta remember, I can't use Demon Fist in the air yet. I don't have an aerial skill yet, which is unfortunate because it would make things a little easier. But you know, maybe what I can do in terms of leveling up is I can level up when I get to a save point, like level up at each save point, because they're spread out enough to where I feel like we'll probably get enough GP to do it that way too. I really should go into these with a better plan, shouldn't I?
They certainly don't look like the
Rather
normal
than just
fauna
flying
for
by the
this
seat of my
area.
pants.
All right, let's get the job done.
Okay then. Let's kill these slightly stronger monsters. Crabman, Merfish. There's a tutorial. Fight while linked and completely fill the arts gauge. Okay, well, we're already doing that, so. We've been using this already, but if you fill the arts gauge all the way up to the point where it's blinking on the side like that, you can access Overlimit. And in Overlimit, you can do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Like, for example, do this, then swap back to Mila, and then do a linked art chain, except the tutorial interrupted it. Basically, you'll have full AC, so you'll have full action points. You can use as many arts as you want. Enemies won't stagger you. On top of that, you can use linked arts with literal abandon as long as you don't use the same linked art twice in a row. So you can't use Demonic Chaos into Demonic Chaos. I think you can Demonic Chaos into Final Gale into Demonic Chaos. For example, swap over to Alvin, chain chance, swap back, do it again. Okay, well, I messed up the chain chance there.
Hey, I'll break their guard. The guard's down.
Thank you, Alvin. Oh, what I was doing there. Okay, so.
The guard's down.
I'm gonna say, Alvin, whenever you're ready.
The guard's down.
Ready? Got it. Was this
All right, got him.
really the only way?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Got a rotten bone out of it, too, so that's a new loot item, I suppose. Now, the real question, am I going to be fighting enemies all the way back to town because they've respawned behind me?
I can't complain. No better training than an actual battle.
It's true.
You got that right.
And I could really
Send
use
back
training
to
when it comes to
LIC
Mila.
and make a report.
You know, thinking about it, though, I could probably, because Alvin's gun options are available as well if you use them at the beginning of a fight. So, like, if I press down and the attack button, he'll start shooting at the beginning of a fight, if I remember correctly. So maybe if I open a fight with that, then I can, like, wait for them to walk up to me and Demon Fang and then start charging. See, like, I don't know, I'm starting to try to think in terms of, like, how would I want to use his skills rather than just doing what I'm doing with Jude, which is basically just spamming Demon Fist at the beginning and then going from there. We already have the first star for Demon Fist. I just need to check what all these do when you get the first star for them, and then we'll go from there. But we have it, so that's cool. And it doesn't look like the enemies have respawned too close to behind me. They have respawned, but it's a little bit further away, so at the very least the backtracking isn't going to be like too overflowing with enemies. I don't know how that's going to be for the next screen, but you know, we'll see. I suppose there's also always the possibility that, like, I could, if we unlock a new adventure field area, I could, like, go to that area and then like fight a whole bunch of enemies off screen, so that, like, basically do any of the grinding that I was going to do just by walking around in the fields normally, and just do it off screen instead of on screen. So I don't know, I'll figure it out as I go, I guess. Maybe I should swap to these goblins because they like to body block me with spells.
Nice one.
The spell, speaking of which. Oh, okay, that's why, because one of the things that he does when he goes up in the air like that is an attack.
This is the power of Maxwell.
Got it. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll like fight all the enemies along the way to my destination, and then if we have to backtrack, I'll just like make a beeline and fight anything that aggroes to me on the way, or a few things that aggro to me on the way, basically.
Got it. Demonic chaos! No breaks. No breaks.
If I ever like punch in the wrong direction when I'm going after an enemy, by the way, it's because of the fact that I have manual on, so it won't like retarget for me, basically. Yeah, see, there's a second kick in there, and that's what's using my AC.
Are we good or what?
Yeah.
Alright. So there's quite a few enemies between us and the Sea Haven, but we might be able to get past most of them without them seeing me, especially if they're these big guys. That'll make a big difference. Oh, I didn't even get the preemptive.
Watch out!
Okay.
Demon Fist!
The guard's down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Alvin, whenever you're ready to use that breaker skill there, buddy. I can beat them into a corner all day, but if they aren't broken, it's not gonna matter. I was gonna say, I hope that's hitting something. Neon's on that one, so let's take this one. Make her job easier.
The guard's down.
Onward.
And there we go. See, I'm kind of liking that whole use healer at the beginning of the fight and then kind of sort of like build my TP back up after that. Kind of liking that. It's working pretty good.
No breaks. Here we go.
Demon Fist!
Demon Fang. Here we go. No breaks.
Demon Fist!
Eat it.
Actually, now is not a good time, Jude. I should have waited for him to get back up. Tails enemies, when they're knocked down, have a notoriety for basically what they do is they have not hyper armor, but extra damage resistance while they're knocked down and they're in the middle of their getting back up animation. So you kind of, it's not that you don't want to hit them when that's happening, but you kind of sort of actually don't want to hit them when that's happening, because otherwise it's like you're getting less damage than you could. Sure, it's free damage, but it's less damage than you could get otherwise. So anyway, we got to turn in this little monster hunting that we just did, and then I guess we'll probably head for the next town because we got to get Mila to Nia Khera, so we'll work on that on the next episode of Tales of Xillia, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I'll consider what I'm going to do about all the random encounters and everything like that, because those will definitely pad out our stream time for this one. So I'll consider what I'm going to do about those in between episodes, and I'll probably also start a Mila file just so that we can see the other intro whenever I choose. So I got a few things to figure out, but I'll figure all those out, and then we'll be back on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, as I said. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I will see you then. Until then, take care, and have a good one. I forgot how much of this game is just adventure field with large amounts of enemies, honestly. I guess I'll have some thinking to do in between, won't I?